All right, what's up, everyone? Stream just started. First fight's about to kick off here on the main card. We got Bogdan Guskov versus Nikita Krylov. This will be an interesting one. Prelims were pretty interesting. Bryce Mitchell, if you guys were watching, just picked up a win over Said Nurmagomedov. That was pretty impressive. I wasn't sure how he was going to do moving down. Sometimes I like weight moves. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes moving down like that, I feel like it's a mistake. But man, if you look at like his loss to Ilya, he almost got like big brothered at moments in that fights, right? Like during the wrestling exchanges, Ilya would just kind of toss him to the ground. And then Ilya obviously moves up to 155. He wants to fight Islam, who's moved up to 170. Like I do think Bryce is likely, just for his build and stuff, a little bit undersized for featherweight. So good move for him. Good win for him. Kind of tumultuous first round, but he fought back through it and, kind of fought a little bit of a gritty fight in the second and third round and picked up a victory. So pretty big deal for him to go out there and pull that off. All right, we're about to kick things off here. Mark Goddard's in the ring. He's going to be reffing these two. This is a pretty good card. And I feel like Whittaker is headlined like 3 or 4 of these ABC cards now. But we're about to kick things off here. We got Krylov again versus Guskov. This is a fight. I feel like Krylov should have the experience. This is a win that he should pick up. Guskov kind of has a tendency to start a little bit slow. Round 1 is just starting. We're at 456, 55, 54 if you guys are kind of trying to sync things up here. But yeah, we got 10 versus 13. Guskov, like I said, he has a tendency to start slow, but he does pack a lot of power. He has a really good knack for finding that button that shuts the lights off too, right? But I think Krylov's movement, his experience, is going to pose some problems for Guskov. Krylov opening up with some kicks, sends a kick down the middle there. Nice leg kick. Again, trying to utilize some of that range I think that he has and some of that mobility. I think he'll be a little bit faster than Guskov. Guskov also has a tendency to carry his hands a bit low at times. Kind of catches the kick. Nothing really comes of it. Krylov kind of controlling the center of the octagon right now, it feels like. Krylov just kind of walking him down behind the black line. Looking for the right hand. Man, throwing a lot of kicks. Guskov looks for a little combination of his own there. I don't think it got home, though. Oh, nice right hand from Krylov. Very nice. Krylov's looking calm and composed here. You can tell he's not too big. He doesn't want to get in too big of a rush right now against a guy like Guskov who does carry that knockout power. Oh, nice little right hand down the middle landed for Guskov. Now he's backing Krylov up. Both trading some punches here. Krylov looking for the jab. Oh, nice dig to the body. That could be important here, right? Especially against someone like Krylov who does move a lot. Working the body is a really good game plan from Bogdan Guskov. Dig that body, kind of slow down on him a little bit. Slow him down a little bit. Oh, nice right hand again from Guskov. Hands low. He's walking Krylov down. Oh, hits him with the left hook. Krylov returns fire. He's whiffing big on some shots, though. He's got to compose himself again. You don't want to start overextending against a guy like Guskov. That's when he's going to find his openings. He's already tagged you a couple times. I understand wanting to get it back, but you got to be careful. You got to fight. It's easier said than done, right? Sometimes a guy tags you and you do just want to get it back, I feel like. But you got to stick within yourself. Stay with the game plan. Krylov marching him down again. It looks like Krylov might be busted open a little bit here. I can't really tell if that's just the shadow on his face. Maybe on his left-hand side, he's opened up a little bit. Nice leg kick from Guskov. Again, carrying his hands low. Krylov's kind of lunging into things. I don't really like that. His face looks fine, I think. But Krylov kind of, again, overextending on some stuff. He's got to let his foot. Oh, nice right hand again lands for Guskov. He's timing that very nicely. And you can tell Krylov's starting to respect it a little bit. He's not as keen on pressuring Guskov now. Nice little leg kick there. But again, it's like a kick and he's retreating now. He's not really, I'd say Guskov's starting to take over the footwork. He's starting to take over control of the octagon again. Krylov's starting to put the pressure on, but it feels like right there, every time Guskov feints, he's able to, Krylov's definitely respectful of his power, a little bit more so. Krylov throws a little kind of feints with the overhand right, threatens with the right hand drops Krylov. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Guskov's kind of in this, smash pass position almost. He's about to go to side control here. He's just raining down shots. Goes through with the leg drag. He's just beating up on Krylov. He's got him flattened out. This is going to get stopped. Yeah, Mark Goddard calls it with, 42 seconds left in the round? Damn. That right hand over and over again. That's what I was saying, man. Krylov just, overextending on things. Walking into some of those shots. And, hats off to Guskov. He did a great job of just finding the timing on everything. And Krylov's hurt here. You can tell he's still wobbling as they try to get him onto the stool. But if you're a guy like Krylov, man, you've got to, I don't know. You've got to, see, he just walks into things with his hands down. He goes to throw a kick. Guskov just raining down shots over and over again. Boom! Clean right hand comes over top of the shoulder. He was catching Krylov with that same shot over and over and over again. He's in kind of leg drag position here, and then he just gets him flattened out and just boom, 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 hammers away and puts Krylov out. Wow. Krylov is a guy who I feel like throughout his career, he's shown potential, right? And he just never lives up to it for some reason, man. When he faces off against some of the top guys in the division, oh, man, such a clean right hand, though. And no real slow start from Guskov this time. Krylov was landing a couple of shots, keeping the range with the leg kicks a little bit early on, but when Guskov started to get his timing down, you could kind of feel that it was all over from there. But great performance from him. Damn, somebody we're going to be talking about at 205. How old is Guskov, by the way? I don't know how old he is. 32. He looks like he's fucking 45. But only 32 years old. I think he's undefeated in the UFC now, right? No, he lost to Volkan Ozdemir in his debut. That's right. But he's picked up 4 in a row now. He's a real contender at 205, especially, considering the state of 205. It's not the most exciting division in the world right now. They did just book the Pereira and Ankalaev rematch I saw, which is going to be interesting. You know what? I don't even know why I bothered arguing with people about it, but this notion that Pereira was better than Khabib was a huge talking point a while ago, that he's already surpassed Khabib on the great list. And I'm like, how? And then he goes in and loses to Ankalaev, right? A guy who's people thought was going to out wrestle Pereira. He really got outstruck by him. It was a close fight. You could have given it to Pereira, but I don't understand how those two are even in the same stratosphere in terms of great. It's because Pereira won 2 belts, right? It's because he won at 185 and then he went up to 205 and he won there. But I'll tell you guys right now, the reality is that if John Jones was president at 205, Pereira never holds a belt there. He just created a vacuum and Pereira was able to fill it. I love Pereira, by the way. I love watching him fight. I don't have anything against him. I'm not biased. I love grappling because I fucking teach jiu-jitsu. It's one of my favorite aspects of the sport. Right? Don't get me wrong, but I'm really not biased. If I had to pick if I wanted to watch 2 guys duke it out or watch a grappling contest for fucking 25 minutes, I would pick a war on the feet every time. I like to see knockouts, right? I like to see submissions too, but I'm like most of you guys. I want to see a good fucking striking match. So it has nothing to do with the stylistic bias. I just think if you look at what Khabib did, Khabib left you with the impression that he could beat anybody. And that nobody was really going to, it's he just, every single person that challenged him, he just turned back and they all looked the same in all of their fights. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Meanwhile, Pereira he did great, right? He won the 185-pound title, but Izzy also knocked him out. And in a weight class that you could argue he was At 185, he was giant for, he's big for 205, but he's giant for 185. I mean, you could consider him a weight bully in that class, right? Like, I just don't understand how somebody who hasn't demonstrated the full, you know, breadth of their skills is considered a fucking above Habib on the all-time list. I mean, people just forget how fucking good Habib was, I think. Anyway, speaking of that, there's been some huge fight announcements lately. You got fucking Duplessis versus Chimaev obviously coming up, right? But Dana White just put out a whole list of fucking good matchups. So we got some. It feels like the first half of this year, I don't want to say it was weak, but it feels like the second half of the year is going to be a lot stronger. And, you know, they haven't announced the Islam versus JDM fight yet, which makes me think that, I don't know, they're likely going to end up doing that when? November, maybe? It feels like they go to Madison Square Garden a lot in November. They could do it in December. But you got Sandhagen versus Merab coming up. I'm excited about that one. A lot of good fights on deck for the next couple months. Who's next on this card? I did watch most of the research for this one, but I can't remember the fight order. Da, da, da. But yeah, damn, good win for Guskov. I think that Krylov was a favorite going into that one as well. Looks like next we're gonna have Asu Amabaya versus Jose Ochoa. This is an interesting fight, and again, one where I'm kind of surprised that the odds are so close because Ochoa looked good in his most recent fight, but it's always the wrestling for me, man. And Amabayev has some pretty good hands. I mean, they're probably looking at what Manel Kopp did to him, though. But Kopp is like a contender, man, at 125. Like one of the top guys, elite striking, really good takedown defense. He's been doing this for a long time. And I think Ochoa is only like 8-1 or 9-1 in his career. So I feel like the experience edge is in favor of Amabayev in this fight. And I also feel like the wrestling advantage is going to go to Amabayev. I just think he's going to have more ways to get it done, and he's been in there with some really good guys. Ochoa looked impressive in his last fight. I mean, he picked up a win over Cody Durden, who's also a pretty impressive wrestler, but I'm just not sure that Durden's on the same level that Amabayev is. So I was surprised to see the odds, you know, so heavily in favor. Not heavily in favor. I just thought they'd be more heavily in favor, rather, of Amabayev, but shit. Oh, what's this? Contender Series shit they're advertising. That's going to start up what? On the 12th, it says. That's coming up soon. Man, I feel like everything's coming up soon. Football season's coming up soon already. The first preseason game's in less than a week on the 31st. It always feels like summer just goes by in a blink. I feel like when I was younger in fucking high school and shit, it felt like summer lasted forever. And now that you're an adult, like, get a job, fucking have to do all this real life shit, and summer just blows by. Fourth largest top position. What, differential or some shit? I missed it. We're talking about Amabayev right now. But again, Ochoa is more exciting. Ochoa has better hands. I think he'll be better on the feet, but it's just crazy to me that I really thought Amabayev was going to be like a minus 250 favorite, and he's like a minus 120. So we'll see. Sometimes the odd makers, though, they know a little something that we don't know, apparently. But I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like the experience gap in this one is huge. Like Amabayev has so many fights. Damn, his hands are. He also gets wild though. Ochoa gets wild, and anytime you get wild against a guy who can really wrestle and who's pretty responsible with his hands, right? Like, I don't know. I just feel like Amabayev has a significant edge in this one. This one confused me. I got money on Amabayev if you guys can't fucking tell, but we shall see. Man, I keep harping on it over and over again, but I really can't wait for the UFC to get away from ESPN. First off, when you go to research these fights, I look on ESPN all the time, and there's almost never a fucking you can't find the fights anymore. Like ESPN Plus has completely wiped the library of historical fights. Unless the fight just happened within like a couple days, you can't find it. And Fight Pass has been better about putting more of the fights on there, but sometimes they don't have some of the more recent bouts. So it's like when you're trying to get ready for these cards, it's like ESPN just wiped out the entire fight library. You can't find any of the fucking fighters. It's so annoying. But also, I used to think people were just kind of hating on it, like, oh, I'm having trouble with the I've been having trouble with the ESPN app constantly lately. It freezes on me all the time, and they run ads non-fucking stop. Like, I get it. What I'll like, honestly, it doesn't bother me that bad if I'm being honest, because like right now, we're just sitting in between fights. But I feel like if you pay this much for a subscription, like you got to think about how much you pay to be a UFC fan if you buy all the pay-per-views and shit, right? You got to pay $80 basically every single month to buy a pay-per-view. And then on top of that, you're paying what, 12 or 13 bucks a month for ESPN Plus, whatever it is. I get it bundled. So I don't know what it is if you just buy ESPN Plus. Like I have a bundle with Hulu and Disney and all that shit. They got me from every fucking direction. But it's just crazy. Like you're watching this 3-minute fucking ad and you're paying all this money. Like, what are you paying for every month? I don't know. What else has been going on? Let me look through fucking MMA Junkie. I had a whole list of things to talk about, and then I get on here and can never remember any of them. This is the hard part too about like live streaming, is just trying to fill that like gap in between when the fights are happening, especially if you get a quick finish like the one that just happened and you do get a fucking 5-minute commercial break. I don't know. Obviously, oh, you know what I have found interesting? Obviously, this is big news, right? Is Hulk Hogan passing away. One of the things that has been very odd to me is that you get this very negative reaction from people online regarding Hulk Hogan. I'm not defending him one way or another, really, right? To me, he was just this fucking figurehead that when I was a little kid, I grew up watching wrestling and stuff. Like, I loved, like, watching him. Sting was my favorite wrestler of all time when I was a kid. And then you find out that he's not this great person. But, man, I'm not big on, like, the terms, like, toxic masculinity and shit. But if you look at that era, if there was ever an era that exemplified it, like, Dana White calls it, like, being men's men, right? Like, back when men were men. But you want to talk about toxic masculinity, that was the time. I just think he's a product of his fucking environment, the people he was surrounded with. You know he was doing drugs. You know he was on all kinds of fucking steroids. His body's getting beat to shit. He's touring constantly. He's probably not sleeping well. I mean, it's just funny that all these people attack him. And then Ozzy Osbourne, they just shower him with praise. The dude killed 17 fucking cats with a shotgun. Had a mental break. And justify it however you want. Say he was on drugs, say he was doing, but like, it's just odd that there's this rush to defend somebody like Ozzy Osbourne because he made great music. But you can't pretend that Ozzy was a great person, right? I mean, I didn't know the guy personally. I can't say that he was like a genuinely bad person, but I didn't know Hulk Hogan person. It's just weird. It's fucking weird. And I love Ozzy Osbourne, by the way. Like, I love Black Sabbath. He put out some of the most iconic songs of all time. But it is weird that he gets like this pass and you get people jumping to defend him, but nobody defends Hulk Hogan in the same way. And they're like, oh, rotten hell, Hulk Hogan. It's like, okay. Just an odd juxtaposition to me there. Don't really understand it. I made a Bloody Mary. It's nice having a little Bloody Mary. We get afternoon fights, right? And actually, it's better. I prefer if I'm gonna drink to drink in the mornings or the afternoons. That sounds so like so much like an alcoholic, but the reality is like if I drink in the evenings, it wrecks my fucking sleep that night. Like, I can't fall asleep, and then if I do sleep, I get shitty sleep. I wake up, I'm miserable. Whereas, like, I feel like if I drink early on in the afternoons, it doesn't impact my sleep so much. It's what, 1:30 here, so that's not too bad. Do a little day drinking, I'll probably end up napping right after the fucking card. Clean a little bit, and then we're gonna hike tomorrow morning somewhere, so get the dogs out of the house. I think it's like 90 here today, and you gotta if you wanna do the thing that does suck about summer out here in Colorado is, like, don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous, you get a lot of sunshine. It's just so goddamn hot. Like, so hot. Like, if you wanna knock anything out, you almost gotta knock it out early in the morning so that you can kind of enjoy the weather because it gets like especially with the dogs, like, it's so hard to take the dogs somewhere at noon when the sun's hanging in the air and it's 90 fucking degrees. You got no cloud cover. So see, that's what I mean. I feel like I've been watching ads for 10 fucking minutes. What am I paying a fee for this service for? And I guess right now, to be fair, this card is on ABC. But the point is, like, if I'm paying for ESPN Plus, I'm watching it on ESPN Plus. Give me some like previews of the fights, right? Like, give me like Dean Thomas talking about something, or give me like Chiesa talking about something. I'd rather have that than fucking watching. Right now, they're advertising Breztree for Cop D. I don't give a fuck. I hope they move to Netflix, but I wonder if they do move to Netflix, how they're going to handle like the pay-per-view model. I wonder if they're going to still charge you every month that they have a pay-per-view, or if you can just pay like a fee up front to get access to all the UFC fights. I wonder how they'll handle all that. Oh, speaking of Netflix, we watched Happy Gilmore 2 last night, and I have to say, I was impressed. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, my expectations were very low. I kind of thought it was going to suck. It's you never live up to the first one, right? Like Happy Gilmore is iconic, obviously, but I thought they did a very good job. I feel like, and then of course, everything you read online is just hate, 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 hate. Everybody hated it. Every review's terrible. But I thought it was pretty damn good, to be honest. For what it was, I laughed out loud quite a few times. I thought it would kind of be cheesy. And parts of it were. The parts of all Adam Sandler movies are cheesy. That's what makes them so fucking good. You know, at least back in the 90s and stuff. Yeah, the worst part, I think, though, was like the Maxi golf event that they had at the end. It just felt kind of rushed. It didn't really build a lot of suspense. You knew how it was going to go. I mean, like, I don't know, but that was my least favorite part, the back half. The first half started out very strong, though. The first, like, hour and a half of it, honestly. Ton of cameos, like every celebrity. I'm going to say it. Pedro Pascal. I don't get it. I don't see him as a super. He's not somebody I look at and he gives me superhero vibes. Like when he's in this Fantastic Four movie, you want to talk about one of the biggest pushes in Hollywood of all time. I don't understand the push that he's getting. Maybe because of the Mandalorian, but I didn't even know who the fuck he was until you didn't even see his face in the Mandalorian until what, like season 2 or whatever. But he just does. I don't look at Pedro Pascal and he doesn't scream like fucking superhero to me, you know? All right, what do we got? Here we go. We're about to start the Almabaya versus Ochoa fight. I am excited for this fight. Again, the odds makers have it as a pick'em. Ochoa's the younger guy, 7 years edge. The younger fighter won 65% of the time. Ochoa's 24, Almabayev 31. But that's like, I don't know. That's a weird one because I feel like Almabayev is right in the middle of his fucking prime right now. Like I said, a ton of experience. I don't know. Every time I think I know something, though, it ends up going the other way. So we'll fucking see. But Peru. They're doing the intros right now. Damn, 5'7" for 125. That's relatively tall for that division, I feel like. How tall is Almabayev? 5'4". That seems more appropriate. That's what you would expect to see. It's always interesting when you see fighters in person because they're almost never as big as you expect them to be. And obviously 125 pounds is very small, right? But like Drew Dober actually came to class the other day. Again, I train at Easton Centennial. I teach there, but he was in class the other day, and not as big as you would expect. He looks really big. I mean, he's very well built, obviously, right? But like, not a huge dude. Like, I got to roll with him. I was bigger than he was. He snatched my neck up a bunch of times. All right, here we go. Amabayev versus Ochoa is about to kick off. If you guys syncing it up, I'm at 57, 56, 455 of the very first round. A lot of feints and a lot of activity from Ochoa early on. Oh, stung him with a nice little 1-2 there. Man, Amabayev has like a lot of tension, a lot of energy built up here. He's working with kind of double overhooks right now. Nice knees. They're trading knees in the clinch here. They break. That's the problem, though. Like, Amabayev is a better wrestler. He's out on body lock now. He's up against the cage. Good head positioning from Amabayev. But he's shooting naked, right? Because I think he is going to have trouble with the range and the striking of Ochoa for sure. So that'll be interesting. Nice little knee there from Amabayev. He's trying to lace that leg and go for the takedown. He's going to elevate him here. Oh, and he's got his knee on the mat, but he's not down. Ochoa does a good job using that overhook to build his way back up. Great head positioning here from Amabayev. And again, they doing a great job of just pinning him up against the cage and constantly trying to lace his leg between the legs of Ochoa. Looking for trips and stuff here. Ochoa with nice defense so far, though. But I don't necessarily love the game plan from Amabayev. I mean, like, oh, there we go. Now we got him down. Hands are connected. Ochoa's going to give his back up. Does a nice job getting right back up to his feet, though. He's got to break the lock here. Amabayev's looking to put that hook in and kind of thread it the whole way through the legs to that far leg of Ochoa. But Ochoa's doing a good job of fighting the hands. He's got to get moving, though, or, yep, Amabayev's going to climb up the back. Amabayev falls off the top, though. Still has a body lock. He's still behind the elbows. Just kind of weighing on Ochoa right now. Oh, nice back take. Amabayev might get high on the back here, though. You can tell he's too high. He's going to end up falling off. Like, he has double underhooks here, but he has to find – there we go. He's pushing down on the hands. Yeah, he falls off the top. And now they're back at striking range. This is where Ochoa wants to be for sure. Amabayev has to stay composed here. He's winging that big right hand. I don't like it. Nice head kick there. But against a guy like Ochoa, those things are going to get there. He caught the kick. Ran the single leg. He's back to the body lock again. And now he's on the back. Now he's on the back of Ochoa. Kind of cranking the face right here. He's got both hooks in. And Ochoa's on his – he's like down on a hip here, so it's going to be hard for him to build up. Right? Amabayev has 2 minutes here. He needs to take his time, open him up with some strikes. He's threatening with the choke. Needs to just maintain top position here, I think, and let his hands go. He's going to get shooken off the top again. He keeps getting too high on the back. He needs to adjust and get that right arm back somehow. Or maybe go down and grab a leg and go for like a Sulu stretch. But that Kimura grip's keeping him latched on, but he's going to fall off. Ochoa just needs to shake. Shake, shake, shake. There, now he's going for that, like, see that, like, kind of Sulu stretch. You've seen, like, Aljamain Sterling hit it before. You're seeing this a lot in MMA lately. When guys get on the back, they're getting shaken off the top. I think guys are getting – it's like Ochoa's reaching through trying to clear that hook. But he's almost just got to, like, bounce up and down here. I feel like there he goes. He's going for it. Yeah. Ochoa clears it, though. I mean, Amabayev's doing a good job of keeping his hooks in and lacing them through, but he's just way too high. He's right there. He goes. He fell off again. And now Ochoa's got him up against the cage, letting combos go. Oh, hit him with the left hand. Amabayev shoots on a single, but Ochoa sprawls. He's got a front headlock here. Ochoa does. Amabayev works his way back to the feet and a nice knee off the break by Ochoa. Another huge right hand from Amabayev. I'd like to see him fight behind his jab a little bit more, close the distance with his foot, makes a mistake there. He spins, and now Ochoa's on his back. Oh, he's got 2 hooks in. He took the back so easily and so much more cleanly there, did Ochoa, than Amabayev did in all the time that he was trying to work up against the cage. He's got the body triangle locked up. I don't think he's going to get Amabayev out of here, but he's showing him that he's no slouch on the ground either. This is dangerous for Amabayev, right? Because now going into the second round, Ochoa knows that if he can get on top of you, he can start to expose some of the gaps maybe. Like Amabayev's a very good wrestler, but if Ochoa can get top position or get to the back, he knows he can control him there. I mean, he got to the back with ease. Considering how much work Amabayev had to do to get there and how little work Ochoa had to do. How's walk? Hey. I'm trying to talk to my wife. She can't hear me. Man, commercial after commercial after commercial. All right, second round is about to kick off here. You know what? They're advertising Ultimate Fighter. I've really fallen off of that. I haven't watched an episode of The Ultimate Fighter in years. Nice leg kick from Amabayev to open up the second round, another one. And again, he just shoots. I mean, he's got the single leg locked up, though. But he's having to work so hard for these takedowns. He got it. But again, now Ochoa back up, stuffs the head, spins out of it. Beautifully done. Amabayev likes to spin. And if you got taken down after you spun in the first round, I don't get why you do it again. It's like instincts take over, though. Man, this is feeling like Ochoa is starting to take over a little bit just because Amabayev's having a hard time closing the range. Nice knee from Ochoa there. Nice right hand follows it up. Nice little kick to the body from Amabayev. Oh, head kick. But Amabayev lands on top. Ochoa's got butterfly hooks in, though. He's doing a good job of trying to elevate here. Going to work his way back to his feet, it looks like. He's got to keep those hooks in, make space. Amabayev does a good job flattening him out, though. But Ochoa still has those butterfly hooks in. You can do a lot of, if he can get his hands under the armpits and send them in one direction, right? He can maintain space and kind of hopefully off balance Amabayev to get back to his feet here. Amabayev almost looking to body lock pass here. There he goes. He elevates him. You're not going to hit Sumigashi on a guy like Amabayev, but you can build back up. Ochoa gave us, but again, Amabayev gets too high on the back. At what point, if you're Amabayev, with all this experience that you have, you're the number 9 ranked guy in the world. At what point do you just quit trying to do it? Like, just go to the body lock and drag the guy down to a hip. Every time you take the back, you're falling off. He's just having to do so much fucking work for so little return. Like, Ochoa is not working nearly as hard as Amabayev in this fight. Even in terms of defending, I don't feel like he is. Amabayev just keeps repeating some mistakes that you don't want to see from a top 5 guy. Not that Amabayev is top 5 right now, but if you want to see him get into title contention, you don't want to see your fighter repeat those things, right? He's got to fight behind the jab. Again, a huge right hand. Ochoa. Oh, nice knee from Ochoa there as Amabayev shoots. Amabayev gets the takedown, though. It's like back and forth. Both guys are making mistakes. I'm being hard on Amabayev, but I just feel like with all the experience he has, you should know a little bit better at this point, right? Like, not that I would know any better if I was in there fighting, but I don't do this shit for a living. Ochoa does a great job of getting to his butterfly hooks. He's got both of them in right now, but he's got to use them to elevate. He's got to keep his hooks inserted, and he's got to go hip to hip and start rocking Amabayev back and forth until he can generate some off balancing and getting him moving over his head, right? Like Ochoa wants Amabayev moving over top of his head, And if you're doing jiu-jitsu, you get entries into like Achigarami and stuff like that. But in a fight, you just want to get back to your feet. He does a great job getting his legs back in play. But he's got to get to a hip. Now we're back in kind of a more now we're in like butter half. He's got the right butterfly hook in, the left hook or the left leg's hooking over top of Amabayev's in sort of a half guard. He moves really well. Like he's avoiding a lot of these big shots from Amabayev on the ground. And again, I feel like Amabayev is having to work so hard for all of this. Ochoa's throwing up some shots from the bottom here. He's got his feet on the hips. He's got a bridge and kick away. Oh, he's got an armbar. Oh, it wasn't Amabayev's defending. He's got the figure of 4 locked up here. It's going to be hard for Ochoa to finish with the figure 4 locked up. Amabayev starts to stack and step around. That arm's still in danger, though. You guys can see if you're looking at the screen now, Amabayev is kind of grabbing that left hip of Ochoa. That was a mistake to throw a punch right there, in my opinion. But I think he's going to clear. Yeah, he's going to clear it. But then Ochoa right into a triangle. He's got the diamond locked up. Now Ochoa needs to start looking to either pass that arm across or he's got to get an angle, right? He's got to get his right knee over top of that shoulder of Amabayev to finish this now. He's got it locked. He's locking it, but he's not covering the shoulder. You're not going to get a tight choke here. But again, at the end of the round, he's putting Amabayev in some submission danger, right? You guys see how he's locking it up? Like he's got his feet locked, but you got to get an angle and make that shoulder disappear for the triangle to be tight. So that was an interesting round. I feel like that one probably goes to Amabayev just based on top control. All right, round 3 is about to kick off here. 4:57, 56, 55 of the third round. This is anyone's fight, in my opinion. Nice leg kick from Amabayev. He really likes to wing that big overhand right. I mean, he throws everything into it. And now he's going to shoot. You can see he wants to shoot. You can see it. But he's not setting the shots up behind his hands. There's the shot. He's got his hands connected, though, here. I think he's going to finish this one. Yeah. Nice double leg. He gets Ochoa down to the ground, but Ochoa back up against the cage, building up. I like to see Amabayev work around to the back here and try to clear this sort of headlock that Ochoa has. Not great head positioning from Amabayev right here. I think Ochoa is going to be able to stand. Yeah, he does. Now the head positioning comes into play. If he had that earlier, it would have been harder for Ochoa to work back to his feet. Interesting. I think Herzog just broke him up. Maybe Amabayev grabbed the cage. He was in an offensive position, though, so he must have. There's a big right hand into the shot. Oh, he's in a deep guillotine here. He's in trouble. Amabayev needs to start clearing this immediately. He's in trouble. It might be loosened up a little bit now. It's hard to tell. Amabayev needs to throw his weight out to the right of our screen. He clears it. Nice guillotine attempt from Ochoa there. But now just the top position is going to be the problem, right? Like Ochoa, when he's up against the cage, Ochoa's done a really good job of working his way back to the feet, but he's had a little bit more trouble in the center of the octagon here. He does. He's throwing the triangle up again on the opposite side this time. Amabayev puts himself in some submission danger, huh? Like, you're seeing some mistakes here, in my opinion, that you don't want to see if you're going to try to advance and fight for a title. But Ochoa needs to take his right hand and hook. Yeah, Amabayev does a good job of hiding it. But Ochoa needs to take his right hand and scoop underneath the left leg here of Amabayev. He's doing a good job of straightening his legs out here. But now, right now, when Amabayev posts, he needs to scoop. And again, his left leg needs to start to cover that shoulder. He almost needs to, there, Amabayev cleared it. Now we're back into guard. It's a very hard fight to score, to be honest, though. But I think Almabayev's top position and the control time is going to earn him points. Ochoa is throwing up strikes from the bottom. It's just not a good look to be there. Yeah, it's going to be hard for Ochoa to wrestle up from here. Yeah, Amabayev flattens him back out. He's doing a great job of getting to those butterfly hooks, but he's not really switching his hips enough to generate any momentum, right? Like, when you get that butterfly hook in, you got to get your hips going side to side. Amabayev posturing up here, throwing some shots down. Ochoa kicks away. Amabayev, he stands back up to his feet. Nice kick from Amabayev. And Amabayev shoots again, but this time Ochoa stuffs it. He's hip to it. Nice little knee from Ochoa there. We're kind of caught in the clinch. Oh, nice left hand from Ochoa. Stumbles Amabayev a little bit. There's still a minute left in the round. Ochoa can still steal this round. Sends a kick up the middle. Just off target. Oh, nice right hand from Amabayev, and then he shoots again. See, like, follow that up, throw a couple combinations, and then shoot your takedown. I feel like the takedowns would come more easily from Amabayev if his hands were a little bit crisper. And if he was throwing combinations as opposed to one big strike and then one big shot. Like, he's shooting from very far away. Like I said, I feel like he's just done more work than he has to in this fight. Nice elbows here from Ochoa. Amabayev's hunting for the takedown here. This has been a grueling fight, though. I will say that. Last 10 seconds of the round. Nice left hand from Ochoa. Amabayev shoots again. He gets around to the back. Ochoa's probably going to roll here. And they let the time run out. I think Amabayev's going to get the win. 2 rounds to 1. He could have won all 3. I don't really know. But I think Amabayev did enough to pick. I think just the top control is going to kill Ochoa on this one. I will say it was a much closer fight than I expected. How much did I bet on this one? Like $5 or $10? $10. I'll make $8. New episodes of South Park are coming out. You know what's weird is they put these new episodes. I started rewatching South Park from the beginning, like probably like 2 months ago. I'm on like season 10 or 11 right now. And man, you want to talk about offensive. South Park threw some wild shit out there. They use a lot of language you could definitely not use now. All right, we're going to go to the decision here. Let's see who they're going to give this to. Like I said, I just think with the top control time, it's going to lean towards Amabayev, but that was a good fight. Yeah. That's kind of what I figured. Goes down Mabayev. But if Amabayev is going to move up through the rankings here and start fighting some of these top ranked guys, you really want to see him clean up some of those mistakes. And like I said, I felt like I'm going to repeat, I'm very repetitive, right? But he worked way harder than he had to in that fight. And every time he went for a takedown, it was like huge overhand right, pause, shoot. Like his pattern is very predictable. And when you start running into those top guys, he's going to have a hard time getting past them, in my opinion. You want to see him mixing things up a little bit more nicely, fighting behind his jab a little bit more, using combinations with his hands. He's got good kicks, right? But mixing all of his weapons together and then kind of disguising his takedowns behind those things. He doesn't have to be the best striker in the world, but his hands are clean enough that I think he could use it to set up his takedowns more efficiently. And right now, that's just not fucking happening. So if he wants to get over that hump, I think there's work to be done. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a very hard path for him to clear the top 5 of the 125-pound division. We'll see. We'll see. Who's next? I think Shara and Barrial. That's an interesting fight. I think it's going to lean in favor of, I wonder what the odds are. It's got to lean in favor of Shara significantly, I would imagine. Damn, 700 favorite. I could kind of see it, though. Like, I kind of get it. I just think the big problem in this fight coming up between Shara and Barrial, the big problem for Barrial, in my opinion, is going to be the movement of Magomedov. Like he moves laterally very well. He's very fast. And Barrial, it's more of like a brawler, right? Like he does really well when he starts getting into the clinch and they get into dirty boxing exchanges. But I think he's going to have a hard time catching Shara and pinning him up against the cage. He'll do it a couple times, but I think he'll have a hard time keeping it there. And that's going to start to compound. And as the rounds go on, he'll just get tired trying to keep up with the pace of Magomedov. And the kicks, if he's not able to start timing the kicks and getting takedowns. Magomedov does have some things to work on in the wrestling department, though. And the way the card's been going today, the fucking underdogs have been doing pretty well. So all hope might not be lost for Barrial in this fight. He has a chance, but he's just got to fight I feel like a perfect fight against somebody like Shara Magomedov. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Is it worth it? This is where I get suckered into things when I'm fucking betting. Is Barrial a big enough underdog to put money on him? Because I really don't feel that Shara is all that proven, is my thing. I do think he deserves to be the favorite. But is he that big of a favorite? Like, is that really warranted? What if things get dirty? What if Barrial does get a hold of him? What if he does drag it to the ground? I think that Shara could have problems if this does turn into a dirty sort of a brawl type of fight. He wants everything to be clean. This is how I lose money, though. By betting on that type of shit. He has a pirate lifestyle. No, he doesn't. Call from a Denver number. Oh, man. What else is going on? I got to get ready. I got to start shooting my bow more. I have to get ready for fucking hunting season coming up. Hunting season out here. I know this is an MMA stream, but I'm just trying to fill the fucking time between these fights here. But hunting out here is so much different than how I grew up hunting in Pennsylvania. Because back home, like, I could just walk up. I was in the woods. Like, I walked like 100 yards behind my house, and I'm in the woods, right? I would take a climber on my back. I'd climb a tree, and you try to pattern these deer based on their eating habits and stuff like that, which really you're trying to do with elk as well. But hunting out west is just so much more physically demanding. It's a lot harder. I'm heavy right now too. I'm like 220 pounds. I've been eating nonstop, fucking drinking alcohol too often. So not exactly what you want to be doing going into elk season, but I still got like 8 or 9 weeks before it gets here. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'll be all right. I've been getting out and hiking and stuff, throwing some weight on my shoulders with these like sandbags and walking on the treadmill, doing some kettlebell workouts and shit. But it's just a whole different strategy. And elk are so massive. I'm almost like more worried about what to do if I get one. Wow, they just put on the screen here Mohamed Yahya. No facial fractures suffered in the TKO loss versus Yen, which is kind of crazy because if you guys saw his eye, it was like literally a fucking balloon. Like literally one of the worst hematomas I've ever seen on an eye. And he got knocked down like 7 or 8 times in that fight. It should have been stopped in the first round. But refs make mistakes. And I get it. He was fighting back. If you're Herzog, you're trying to give him every opportunity to get himself back in the fight. But damn, doesn't change the fact that it was just absolutely brutal to watch. Yeah, see, right, they're showing highlights, and right here, this is what Barrios has to do. He's got to hope that he's a little bit bigger and stronger than Shara, get him pinned up against the cage, and start to do work in some of those clinch exchanges and dirty boxing exchanges. When I think about Barrios, all the highlights they just showed him, that's exactly what I think about. This is just a fight between two completely different styles. Like Shara's going to want everything to be super clean, and Barrios going to want everything to be dirty. Power bar. More 4 minutes worth of advertisements. Unreal, guys. Let me see. I just got a call from some number. I just got a call from, sorry, I had to check that. I'm covering one of the jiu-jitsu classes at our academy in like a week. So the guy was just calling to like confirm that I was covering it for him and everything. I'll call him back later. He's one of the black belts at our gym, and he's going to Florida, I think, for the weekend. So got to cover a class. It was actually a class I used to teach on Sundays, which was our all levels class, which was nice because like a lot of the only thing that like we travel quite a bit. So I had to give the Sunday classes up because you got to travel on the weekends, right? And it's very hard sometimes to, like, if we have to fly somewhere, like I have to fly back home. Like I said, I'm from Pennsylvania, so if we fly back to see family, the class is at like 10, 11 a.m. on Sunday. So hard to make it all the way back to cover a class that early, unless you leave Saturday night. And if you fly home on Thursday, it's like you want to get, you want to be able to spend Saturday night there and stuff. So I don't know. Anyway. Man, I'm telling you, these ads are killing me. And I just need to work on streaming more often because it really is like, I don't know. I think it's just letting things flow a little bit more naturally. Like it's hard to just come up with things to talk about other than because when I do these normally, like when I get on a microphone, uh, normally I like have a set agenda. Like I'm going to give you the picks for the fights. I'm going to talk about A, B, C, and D. And when you're doing this, I can tell you guys what I think about the fights coming up, but then you got to wait for the actual fights to start. There's ads going on in between. So filling that dead space is definitely sort of like a kind of a hard thing to do, to be honest, especially when you don't have somebody else sitting there bouncing ideas back and forth with you. Like I'm just kind of narrating things on my own. So yeah, that definitely takes some work. That's why when you watch people like Tim Dillon, he's been having more guests on like Alex Jones. I don't know if you guys saw the most recent one. But he just does such a good job of ranting on his own. That's such a hard thing to do. Like that really is a skill to be able to talk that often and cover these like variety of subjects. So he's really becoming like a political. I mean, he's always been very educated on politics and stuff, but he's really diving into that space a little bit more. Like you're starting to see him on major news programs and shit. Share player, no, Share. Talking about Magomedov. Share play? I don't follow, dog. Sorry. If you're talking about whether Shara's fought yet, no, they're about to start in like supposedly 8 fucking seconds here on the TV, but we'll see. I think they're about to do the intros. Yeah, here we go. Do I put money last second on Barrios? Is it just a terrible bet? Am I just throwing money away? Nah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I do think Chara's going to win the fight, so it's like, the odds are very tempting. But I do think the Barrios going to have a hard time covering the distance that he needs to. I think Chara is very fast. I think that speed advantage is going to play into his favor. His lateral movement's going to keep his back off the cage. That's I feel like really the only thing Magomedov has to focus on in this fight is keeping his back off the cage. If he does that, it should be a pretty clean victory for him. All right, here we go. We're about to kick things off here. Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Getting ready to start. 456, 455 of the first round if you guys are trying to sync things up. Nice little leg kick from Magomedov. He's so fast. Barriault's pressuring, though. He's got to pressure slowly, though. You got to wear on this guy. Like, if you try to pressure quickly and go in for big attacks, you're going to expose yourself. He's going to find these openings, so. Barriault's keeping his hands up, though. Using a lot of kicks, which I like. Nice little front kick there. This is what Magomedov does, though. He dances around. You can pressure him, but he uses so much lateral movement that it's hard to get him. Like you can see right now, Barriault's already chasing him, right? Nice leg kick from Magomedov. Oh, another leg. That one had a real big impact. Went to the inside of the lead leg. Really off balance, Barriault. But Barriault's chasing right now. He's not heading him off. He's not ahead in the footwork battle. He's behind. Magomedov is leading the dance right now. There's a shot, though. Magomedov has an underhook on that right side. He's got to use that to start to pry Barrios up. Barrios doesn't have great head positioning right now. But Barrios gets a takedown. Char maybe with a little bit of a fence grab there. This is the kind of fight right here that Barrios wants. He wants to push Magomedov up against the cage and work in these dirty boxing exchanges and in the clinch. I like that little knee shield that Magomedov threw up there, but it's gone now. He's going to frame. Nice little elbow off the break. You know, Magomedov dealt with that pretty nicely. And now they're back to the center of the octagon. You got to wonder if Magomedov is going to start to let things go a little bit. He doesn't want to be too patient in this fight, right? Because sometimes when you're too patient, those guys that just pressure relentlessly, it starts to wear on you. Like, you want to do some damage. You want to make Barrios a little bit hesitant to close that space off. And Barrios got him pinned up against the cage here again. Stepping in deep with that left leg. And he's put him on the mat once, so he knows he can get him there. The question is, can he keep him there? Nice little knee from Barrios. Nice frames from Magomedov. He reverses position here, throws a knee. See, Barrios had an opportunity to throw double unders in there, and he didn't go for it. Yeah, Magomedov's looking good. He's dealing with these problems very nicely. Like, you're ultimately going to end up there when you're fighting someone like Barrios, but it's the way that you clear things and deal with them. Magomedov circling. But again, Barrios is just constantly on the gas here, right? Like, he's constantly moving forward. He's constantly the advancing party. Nice little side kick to the midsection from Magomedov. Like, right there, even when Barrios goes to throw that, like, two-piece combination, it's the way Magomedov's able to slide off because Barrios not heading him off. Nice leg kick from Magomedov. Little side kick up the middle again. Push kick, whatever you want to call it. Throwing the jab out there. Magomedov gets a hold of him again, though. See, this is... If you're Magomedov, you don't want to fight this off over and over and over again, right? Like, you've proven that you can deal with it, but it doesn't mean that you want to spend all your time here because eventually it's going to start to wear on your arms, right? And it is going to get tiring. Like, even if, there you go, you got separation again. But that's like 3 or 4 times now that they've ended up in the clinch. And if you're Magomedov, you just want to stay away from it entirely and try to keep things in the center of the cage where you're going to have a big advantage. Nice kick to the midsection again. That little side kick's working well for Magomedov. Barrios wings a big shot. He's just behind him in terms of footwork. Like, Barrios just throwing out these, like, sort of lumbering little shots, but they're not doing anything at all. Oh, I don't even know what you want to fucking call that. Almost like a rolling thunder from Magomedov. It missed. Little question mark kick to the body almost. Nice leg kick. Magomedov's really investing in the legs. Not a bad first round from him, but again, Magomedov not quite what I want to see out of him. Like, you really want to see him, like, not getting stuck in that same situation over and over and over again. Like, yes, he's dealing with it nicely, but you want to see him fend that stuff off and not get caught there at all, right? Like, completely circle away from it. I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh on him. Maybe now that he's felt things out, he'll come out in the second round and really open things up, but he's still letting Barrios advance too often, right? And the more that you get caught in those positions, the more tired you start to get. Like, fatigue is real. And when fatigue starts to set in, that's where Barrios fights all the time. That's where he wants to be. So if he can get there repeatedly, it's not about the fact that you can break it 1 or 2 times. If it takes you a minute to break it next time, and then a minute and 15 seconds the next time, and then all of a sudden it's taking you 2 or 3 minutes to get out of that position, that starts to favor Marc-Andre Barrios. So we'll see. I'd like to see Chara get a little bit more aggressive with the strikes. He fights off the back foot a lot, so he has the potential to end things, but I don't think he gets a lot of power into a lot of his strikes. I think he's just so much more technically proficient than a lot of guys. But again, right here, he's fighting off the back foot. Barrios pressuring forward right away. Nice little jumping kick, switch kick to the body. Nice leg kick again. But the leg kicks don't seem to be slowing down the movement of Barrialt at all. You know what I'm saying? They're not thudding. He's just kind of tagging him with them. And Barrialt's still pressuring forward. What are they stopping the fight for? What are you doing, ref? Get the fuck out of there. Barrialt pressuring. And lateral movement is tiring, especially fighting at a high level in the UFC. And you can see Magomedov, he's standing still in his stance a little bit more, right? Not always. He's still leading the dance, but he's just starting to freeze up in certain situations a little bit more. Barrialt's missing big with some big shots there. I'd like to see him straighten his punches out, or if he is going to throw those hooks, move in the direction of the hooks. Like if you throw a right hook, step off to your right so that you're corralling Magomedov. Like right here, left hook, move to the left. You can't get caught on the center line like he just did, though. Like move with your strikes and then use it to set traps for Magomedov. Magomedov, oh, nice little right hand got over the top there for Barrialt. Magomedov doing a lot of the advancing now. He's kicking a lot more. He is doing well landing elbows in the clinch. Like Barrialt just shot. Magomedov went to the clinch and he landed a nasty little elbow. Ooh, nice little kick to the head there. Almost like a heel kick. He's got Barrialt bleeding here. He's busted open somewhere. It looks like it's coming from the top of his head. Oh, Barrialt stung him. Big right hand. They're in the clinch again. Barrialt's got to start letting oh, nice little uppercuts getting through for Barrialt. This is what do you guys see what I'm saying? You can't end up in the same positions over and over and over again. Eventually, it's going to start to favor the guy who does that all the time. It's his fighting style. Barrialt's digging the body over and over and over. Nice little knee from Barrialt. This is what Barrialt wants. Oh, nice right hand again from Barrialt. They're back to the center. Oh, nice right hand again, and a left hand follows. Barrialt's landing in open space. He doesn't even need to be in the clinch. He's just landing. He's got to be careful, though, because Magomedov is still the sharper striker, right? You don't want to open yourself up to something when you're doing so well. He's stolen this round so far, too. And look, here we go again. We're right back where we fucking started. In the clinch again. I'm telling you, if you're Magomedov, you cannot end up in this spot trying to fend off the same attack over and over from a guy who wants to be in the clinch. You have to keep your fucking back off the cage. Magomedov's a little bit overrated, in my opinion, man. Like, they've been trying to hype him up, and we've been seeing him really struggle with some of these guys that you would think that I should have put fucking money on Barrialt. I told you guys. I told you. And then I talked myself out of it. But now it looks like Barrialt's got his hands connected here. He might not have them locked. I can't tell from this angle they're showing. But this is just where Barrialt wants to be. Yeah, he's elevating him. He might get the take. He got the takedown. This is just the kind of fight that Barrialt wants. And if you're Magomedov, you can't entertain it. Just because you did well at clearing it a couple times, you can't get fucking complacent. You can't let yourself get pinned here over and over again. And now, though, you're starting to see with a minute left in the second round, 45 seconds now, you can see a little bit of the desperation and worry in Magomedov's face. You can see the look in his eye like, fuck, I need to get out of this. He realizes the importance of getting out of the situation. Barrialt digging the body. This is exactly the kind of fight that when I said at the beginning, when you see highlight reels of Barrialt, this is what I think about. Now, Magomedov doing a good job. He's got the plum here. He's landing knees of his own. Right? He's landing some strikes now. Oh, he just landed a big knee on Barrialt. Now he's teeing off. Now Barrialt's shelling up against the cage. Magomedov with a side kick. Barrialt's hurt. Barrialt's hurt. He's wobbling for sure. Just as I say that, look at Magomedov. He turns the tide. 5 seconds left. Barrialt's got to survive for 5 seconds. Fucking crescent kick lands. Round ends. I don't even know who you give that one to now. I still think maybe Barrialt, but I don't know. Shara came on strong at the end there. Just as I'm fucking talking shit. Just as I start saying you can't engage there over and over again, he gets to the clinch, he gets to the plum, and he starts hurting Barrialt. You never know in this fucking sport, man. You never know. Let's make sure this fucking... Okay, here we go. Man, they ran the ad over. They literally ran this. I can't complain enough about ESPN. We're 440, 441, or 439. I can't fucking count. 435, 34, 33 left in the third round. It just started. They didn't start the round till fucking 15 seconds in because they were running an advertisement. Barrialt advancing again. Both those guys got hurt in the second round, but Barrialt looked worse for where to end the round. Oh, flying knee from Chara as Barrialt shoots. But Barrialt looks like he might have his hands connected again. He does. But good defense here from Chara. Man, Chara's minus 620 on the live odds. That's surprising to me. He might have stolen the second, though. Very close. Very close. But all the control and... I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't want to score that second round. This is going to end up being a fucking split decision. And they're going to give it to Chara. I just feel like that's what's going to end up happening. I know we got time left in this round. Damn, what kind of kick is that? I'm not good with the kick nomenclature. I know he struck him with the heel. He does have a lot of variety off that front leg. A lot of showmanship from Magomedov here in the center of the cage. 3 minutes left in the round now. Nice left hand from Barrialt. Starting to wing some punches here. He missed with two big ones. He's got to keep doing what he's been doing, though, man. You got to keep advancing forward. You don't want to hang out in the middle of the cage. This is still Magomedov's domain, you know? He's got to stay on it. Stay on. He's backing him up again here. Nice little jab from Magomedov. That flying knee kind of lands again, but Barrialt's crashing into that space. Some nice elbows there from Magomedov to get Barrialt off him. Nice little leg kick from Magomedov. Magomedov feels like he's in control this round so far. Tries a spinning back fist that misses. They're back to the center of the cage. Barrialt starts advancing a little bit. Got his hands connected again here, it looks like, in a body lock. It's going to be hard for him to get the takedown. Look at the head positioning, though, from Barrialt. Way off, right? He's way off to the side. He needs to be driving his forehead into the chin of Magomedov here. Yeah, there he goes. Then he lands a nice little elbow, but he off-centers himself. He's like out of position now. He's going to lose it. He's letting Magomedov frame. Magomedov reversed his position. Now he's kind of pushing Barrialt up against the cage with that forearm frame against the chin. Nice little elbow. Two of them. Yeah, this is Magomedov's round, though. The second you could maybe give to Barrialt, but I feel like you could give all three to Magomedov so far. Or it'll be 29-28. I don't think it's going to be split anymore. Not after that. Nice flying knee. Nice head kick. He's got Barrios on the ropes here. He's hurt. He's wobbling. He's showing him all this different stuff, but like throw something. Like you got him hurt. I don't know. And then he goes for a takedown. When he gets to the plum, he's done his best work right there. He keeps landing those knees. He's about to finish Barrios. He knocked him down. He's on top of him here, landing some ground and pound. He's done his best work every time he gets to the plum. When he grabs two hands behind the back of Barrios' head. 5 seconds left in the round. Yeah, this is Magomedov's round, no doubt about it. Yeah, Magomedov will take that fight. I'm glad I didn't bet on Barrios after all. But damn. Still some mistakes that you see in the game of Magomedov that you'd really like to see cleaned up. But not a bad fight. All right. What do we got going on here? Oh, you know what sounds good? Fucking, they just put a commercial on. This is the thing about commercials that they do get you. Ramen. Not like fucking actually packaged ramen sounds good, like Maruchan, like oodles and noodles, but like we got this really good fucking ramen place out here. Oh, it's the best. And it holds up. Like my wife and I went to Japanese in April. We ate at some places that like were fucking amazing, like better than the place that we have here. But it's legit. Like I've eaten at a bunch of ramen places out here in like the Denver area. Like we went to this place called Uncle the other night. It was really good, but not as good as the place that we go to, that my wife and I go to. It's almost not really a hole in the wall, but it's just like this little spot kind of tucked away, and it's got the best ramen here by far. I've eaten at some of the chains and stuff here. They're okay. None of them touch the place that we eat at, in my opinion, at least. Speaking of Japan, you got Taira fighting Albazi next weekend. Has there ever been a Japanese UFC champion? I don't think there has. But Japan was fucking incredible. Their whole culture and everything. They're going with the decision. They're definitely going to give it to Magomedov. Yeah. Good. That was actually a pretty entertaining fight. I feel like I'm getting a little bit critical on these guys and like complaining about mistakes that they're making, but it was a good, entertaining fight. What did they give to? I didn't hear the scores. Let me check. I'm guessing they gave it 29-28, but you could have gave them all 3 rounds, to be honest. Let's see. MMA Junkie doesn't have it updated yet. Anyway, yeah, Shara Bullet picks up the unanimous decision victory. Well earned. He fought really well in the 3rd round there. I still feel like he could have had a more you say that, I say that, right? And for all the criticism that I gave him about getting into the clinch and stuff, he actually landed some of the most damaging strikes of the fight from the clinch when he was able to, again, get to the fucking back of Barrios' head and control him from there and kind of that Muay Thai clinch. Elbows were doing damage for him. Shara Bullet's greatest performance to date. Yeah. What is it, his 3rd fight in the UFC? He's still got a lot to work on, though, especially in this middleweight division. There's a lot of fucking killers at 185 pounds right now. But I do think that was probably fight of the night so far. Yeah, Robbie Glover. You're right. Just popped up on the screen. I think a lot of the times for me, I get frustrated when I see guys like repeating the same things over and over again. Like, I feel like if Shara would have just stayed at the middle of the cage and started throwing strikes from there, he could have had an even more successful round, right? Like, or a successful fight. Like, he maybe could have picked up a finish in that one. Or if he had maybe initiated some of those clinch exchanges instead of being on the receiving end of them. But regardless, good win for him. And yeah, they'll keep promoting his name and everything, I'm sure. He's got the look of a villain, so he's easy to promote. What are you doing, Aries? Huh? My dog is the biggest fucking, like, he loves comfort. He like our other dog will lay just on, he'll get on the couch and stuff too, for sure. But he'll just lay like sprawled out on like hardwood floors and pass out. But our other dog, Aries, the one that's laying right here, that's how he lays all the time. Like, he always lays on the pillows like a fucking person. So yeah, he's much more of a baby. He's much more pampered in that regard. Damn, I've been working on this fucking one Bloody Mary for literally the entire stream, like an hour and a half. I think I'm going to make another one here in a sec. We got Piotr Jan versus Marcus McGee coming up next. That's going to be a good fight. McGee's been very impressive so far. And you look at him and I kind of think, you know, kind of have this, there's something about him that makes you want to underestimate him for some reason, but he's a very skilled martial artist. All right. I'm going to mix up another drink. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. They're showing Duplessis versus Hamzat on the screen now. That's a fight I'm very interested in. I feel like Chimaev, man, his wrestling is top notch, but there's something about Duplessis and just his ability just to fight, right? That's what I think. When I think about Duplessis, I just think about his ability to fight. Not everything's clean, not everything's incredibly technical, but he's just great at fighting. When Shar Magomedov, that fight just got done. They're moving on to Piotr Yan versus McGee. So Shar picked up a unanimous decision victory. So pretty good fight. Probably fight of the night so far, to be honest. A little bit back and forth. I think Shar probably won all 3 rounds. I didn't hear the actual scorecards announced, like what the scores were, but he had Barriault hurt really bad at the end of the third. Barriault hurt him in the second with the right hand, but then Shara, every time he got to like the plum, the Muay Thai clinch, he would land some knees there. And yeah, he really took over in the third round. So, oh, that's another good fight. Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico is announced. That's going to be the co-main event for the August 16th event. That's the same card that they were just talking about Duplessis and Chimaev is on in Chicago. That'll be a good fight. I think they were talking about, at least I saw this thing where Duplessis was saying that it was going to be Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, but I don't think Gaethje wants that fight. I think Gaethje wants the title fight or nothing. And at his age and the time he's put into the sport, it might be the right move, but it also might not be. I don't know if they're just going to let him fight Ilya. And I think the UFC, really what they want is they want Ilya versus Paddy. That's my opinion, at least anyway. I think that that's the fight that they're gunning for, and I think they want a title eliminator because I think they think Paddy's going to beat Justin. And I think that if Paddy beats him, that's a title shot for sure. And I don't blame Justin for not wanting it, you know. I saw Gaethje. I didn't meet him, but I kind of just like dapped him up. I guess you kind of met him then, right? I didn't like talk to him or anything though. But I met him up at Ameristar, the casino up in Blackhawk. I was up there playing blackjack. I'm always weird when I do bump into guys like UFC fighters in public. Like, I want to give them their space and stuff. I kind of always like when I take a picture with them, I don't want to like impose myself on them. It's almost better if you just have this like kind of interaction with them. And it's funny how a picture has kind of become like a new autograph. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was already taking pictures with all these fans and stuff, these kids that recognized him up at the casino. So I just kind of let it roll. Man, when you look at McGee, no offense to him, he really does remind you of that motherfucker from Small Soldiers. That fucking little creature thing. No offense, but he does. Can't say something like that and say no offense, huh? But that's what I mean. I feel like you just look at him and you have this tendency to like underestimate him, but he's actually very talented. But against Piotr Yan, he's going up against the division's elite. This will be a real stiff test and competition for him. Song Yadong's someone. Again, I'm just going based off highlights. It's bringing stuff up in my mind, but Song Yadong is somebody who is very. You can get excited about Song Yadong at bantamweight too. He's already fought some of the best in the division, and he looked good in that Piotr Yan fight. So I think he still has a bright future. He's already fought so many of the guys. Feels like if he can clean a few things up, he could be a challenger for the title one of these days. McGee's a significant dog in this fight. And Yan just beat Figueiredo, right? I think that was the last person he fought. So Jan's kind of like back on track. He's going to be looking to pick up 2 in a row and get his name back in the mix. But this is a good fight. I'm interested to see how this one plays out. Because McGee has some tricky boxing, right? thing that makes me a little bit nervous about him is I think that Jan is a little bit cleaner, a little bit more fluid, uses a little bit more head movement. The head movement is what makes me nervous. The stiffness from McGee. But he does do a good job of he's either all the way in or he's all the way out, right? So he'll kind of hang out on the edge of things, and he waits until you're about to go, and then he throws shots of his own. And he has a really good sense of timing. He's got good hands. Only active Detroit-born UFC fighter. Very interesting. Putting Detroit on the map. He's shredded. He's in good shape. That's the other thing about McGee, too, is he's built like a brick shit house for 135. Like, he's very solid, right? He's going to be much more dense than Petr Yan, so he might be stronger. But Yan has the fluidity, the technique, the trips. His judo, or like his adaptation to judo-like takedowns for mixed martial arts is very impressive. And his boxing is something to really worry about as well. McGee might have a little bit of an advantage in terms of knockout power, but McGee's riding a lot of momentum right now. He's feeling good. Yeah, I want to see how this one shakes out. Here comes Jan. Here comes my other dog. What are you doing, Atlas? See, he likes the couch too. Normally he'll lay on the hardwood floors, but he's not opposed to laying on the couch either. Jan is, man, the Aljamain Sterling thing, it really did cause this kind of ripple in the timeline of the bantamweight division, right? Like it completely changed things. I don't know though. With Merab might have been taking that shit eventually anyway. But the landscape there for a while definitely looked a lot different after the DQ. Jan to win by KO plus 450, by sub plus 100. They think he's going to sub him. Or decision 165, minus 165. How many submission victories does Petr Yan have in his career? I do not think about Petr Yan as a submission artist. One submission his entire career. And you can get it for plus 100? What? What is happening? He submitted someone in his third professional fight in 2015, and other than that, nothing. 7 knockouts, 10 decisions. I mean, the minus 165 on the decision line makes sense, but I can't believe that the odds are better that he would submit McGee than knock him out. That's very odd. Let's see if Jan can return to form here. Or rather, stay in form. I guess he just picked up a win most recently, huh? McGee fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona. Is he part of MMA Lab? Close. Wow, that's crazy. Jan has closed in a favorite in all of his UFC fights, all 15. Kind of crazy he's already had 15 UFC fights too. He's a fan favorite as well. People love Petr Yan. I love Petr Yan. But I like McGee a lot too. I'm interested to see how this shakes out. All right, here we go. Round one about to start. All right, touch of gloves and we're off. 456, 455, 54 of round one. We just started. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee. Yan advancing right away. Sticking that lead hand out there per usual. He's got McGee backing up against the black line here early on. McGee tries a little side kick that misses. Yan just kind of stalking him right now. Yan looking very, I like the footwork early from Yan. McGee's moving his feet around a lot as well here, though. Trying to threaten with some things of his own. Nice little leg kick there from McGee, and Yan returns fire with the right hand. McGee tries a kick. Tries a little right hand there. There was some good head movement from McGee when he threw that offense, though. Something I was worried about coming into this fight, but that looked pretty good. The question is, can he implement it when Yan starts throwing combinations, right, from a defensive perspective? But he does have an emphasis on getting his head off the center line when he throws, clearly. Showing a lot of feints. Yan misses with the left hand. Yan not quite finding the range yet. He missed with the leg kick there as well. McGee kind of takes the center of the octagon back now. Big right hand misses from Yan. Looking to counter after McGee threw that left. Kind of engaged in the clinch here. They separate. Looks like a short little oh, nice leg kick from Petr Yan. Kind of knocks the base out from underneath McGee. McGee right back on it, though, staying calm and composed. Oh, nice left hook just landed from Petr Yan. Oh, and he sticks him with a 1-2. Right hand landed as well. Yan will shift his stances, right, and then stick that lead hand out in your face. See, he just went back to orthodox. McGee putting a little bit of pressure on Yan now, though. Both guys feigning quite a bit, showing each other different looks. Little combination there, just misses from McGee. See what Yan keeps slipping. Like when McGee throws, he's just missing. Like Yan keeps slipping inside the strikes of McGee, and McGee's getting off the right there when he steps. He does a good job of stepping out and controlling that outside foot position when he goes to throw. But Yan's just sliding his head to the inside. Oh, there's a nice left hand that landed from McGee. That's what I was just gonna. If Yan's slipping away from where he's throwing, you should try to bring the left hooks around. Interesting fight so far here. McGee trying to show him the right hand. Yan starts advancing again, throws a jab out there. McGee circling away towards the power side of Yan. Throws a little 1-2, not sure it connected. Nice leg kick from McGee. Oh, damn. Yan's throwing some uppercuts. Now McGee's got him back behind the black line. Lets a little three-piece combination go. Looks like a little 1-2 there. Yan fires back with the right hand of his own. A lot of activity going on so far. Yeah. I like how McGee's mixing it up, man. When he throws offense, he is moving his head. He's mixing his kicks in there nicely. I'd like to see him rip the body of Yan a little bit more. They're getting into some pretty ferocious exchanges here. They're thrown with some heat when they let their hands go. Jan finding some success with the uppercut so far. Nice leg kick from McGee. Off balance Jan for a little bit. Nice knee up the middle. Nice little like 1-2 there from Petr Yan. Pretty back and forth so far. Yeah, that uppercut. In these dirty boxing exchanges, I feel like Jan's just slightly getting the better of McGee. He's kind of grabbing the back of that. Oh, McGee stung him with a nice right hand there. Then he brings a 1-2. Jan keeps looking to grab the back of that head of McGee and then throwing an uppercut. I'd like to see McGee work the body. Both guys could benefit from some body work here. But I think that might open up some of the shots that McGee keeps missing with up top if he could work the body a little bit better. End of the first round, going to a commercial break. Good first round, though. Close first round. I don't know who you give it to. I'd have to be like scoring it. Maybe Jan if I had to guess. But McGee did a lot of good work of his own. See, what's the point of this commercial break? They just put it on the screen. It literally just says commercial break. We'll be right back. Like, at least show me what they're saying to him in the corner. This is a big fight. I don't know. I'm bitching a lot today. Just complaining about fucking things. But it is annoying. Like the last time, the round was 15 seconds in and they just cut back from the ad. Here we go. Second round's about to start here. Fun first round. Second round begins. Leg kick misses for McGee. Jan again, the advancing party for the most part. They trade there. Nice little right hand got through for Petr Yan, it looked like. Couple big shots missed there from Jan. McGee's in on like a single leg attempt here. He's got Jan pushed up against the cage. Jan's got good takedown defense, though, man. This will be hard for him to finish. And this isn't exactly McGee's strong suit, right? They break. They're back to the center now. McGee sits down on a left hand that just misses. Nice little left-right lands for Petr Yan. Left hand lands for McGee. McGee's fighting a good fight. Nice little uppercut left hand. Stumbles Yan a little bit there. Ooh, he's putting. There we go. Right hand to the body. That's what I've been calling for. Rip that body. Leg kick lands for McGee. Oh, nice little uppercut got through for McGee. McGee's got some tricky boxing, man. He really does. Throws a little leg kick there to Petr Yan. Yan takes a kick up high, but it's well defended by McGee. They're in the clinch now, right in the center of the cage. We're at 3:23, 22, 20. Oh, right hand hurt McGee. Yan landed a 1-2. Right hand hurt him. They're in the clinch now. McGee looks like he's recovered, though. Let's a three-piece combination of his own go. He's letting his hands go. Yan just does such a good job of shelling up and then coming over the top when the openings present themselves. See, like right there, boom, over the top, and then an uppercut hurt McGee a little bit, I think. Left hand hurt McGee right there, I think, after he threw the knee. Jan's getting going a little bit here. He's starting to open up. The uppercut's doing really nice work, but McGee just keeps coming forward. Nice rip to the body again. Right hand, left hand. They're going back and forth here. I feel like my commentary is just like, oh, this. Right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. But they're just going back and forth, man. Great fight so far. Oh, right hand got through for Yan. Jan's winning the round right now, though. Oh, they get in a clinch, and Yan brings the left hand over the top. McGee working the jab. Jan advancing again. Oh, Jan's just waiting, right? Oh, nice little flying knee. He just finds the perfect opportunity to throw all these strikes. He's kind of shelling up, letting McGee throw, and then when the opportunities present themselves, he's throwing offense of his own. And he's just kind of marching McGee down now. Staying out of the range. Nice little knee attempt there from McGee, but it misses. Leg kick lands for Petr Yan. Right hand. Anytime I announce these smaller guys fighting, like he tried to trip there and it missed. These 135 pounders, I feel like they're just throwing so much volume that you're constantly like, this guy did this guy did that, this guy did this. And really it's kind of easier to just focus on the story of the fight. Jan rips the body now with the right hand. Jan's just getting off the cleaner strikes. And I feel like he's having a little bit more impact with the strikes when he does land. He's just kind of shelling up, waiting for McGee to go, and then he goes when McGee opens himself up. Nice right hand from Petr Yan. In terms of volume, it's saying they're about even. They're saying Jan's landed 34 significant strikes and McGee 33. But I feel like the things that Jan's landing are just more impactful. They're going to look better to the judges. And they are just better strikes. McGee tries the spinning attack there. It doesn't really work. 10 seconds left in the round. McGee's giving himself a chance. I like that. Like, he's fighting. He's throwing volume out there, but I just feel that Jan's ahead right now. Good fight, but I think Jan's up 2-0. I think McGee's going to need a finish in the third in order to get the win. Oh, fuck. Swallowed an ice cube. Fucking cold. Probably the most technically sound fight we've seen all night, though. Like, he's actually fighting very well. I thought this would be a little bit more one-sided, to be honest with you. I really thought Jan would dominate a lot of these exchanges, but McGee's fighting a very good fight. This is the most high, and it makes sense. It's in the right spot. It's in the co-main event, right? But this is the highest level fight we've seen all night in terms of skill and decision making and just fight IQ. Excuse me. All right, we're about to kick off the third round here. Both guys look ready to go. They both look in good shape. Like, I think both of them have enough gas to get through this third round. But McGee's really got a fire here. I'm at 450, 49, 48 if you're following along. Live odds have Jan at a minus 1150 on the live odds to win. McGee's at plus 650. Nice little leg kick there from McGee lands. He's landed that leg kick a couple times now. He's given himself a chance, which I love. Nice left hand got through there from Jan. It's off the break a lot that Jan's having a lot of success too. Like, when they clinch, Petr's landing a lot of really good shots off the break. Takedown attempt from McGee gets stuffed. Jan follows it up with the right hand for good measure. Jan's got him pinned up against the cage. Jan's feeling good. You can tell. He's letting his hands go a little bit more. He's backing McGee up, and when he gets him in a spot where he likes, he's letting multiple punches go at a time. Right hand just landed there after McGee missed with the knee. See, like right here, they're clinching. I bet you Jan goes for a takedown. He's in deep on a double leg. He's got his hands connected. He's going to get this here potentially. He's behind McGee now. Throwing some knees from kind of into the hamstrings of McGee. He might just let this go. Again, just kind of, he's still just behind him right now, throwing knees over and over again. He doesn't seem too committed to hunt for the takedown. He's just controlling. And it's a smart game plan from Jan. You're probably up 2-0. You want to just beat up on this guy and mitigate the amount of chances that he has to land a strike on you that could end the fight, right? So it's on McGee though. He's got to do something here to change the situation. He's got to fight the hands. He's got to slip an elbow inside. He's got to turn and face Petr Yan, right? And with 2.5 minutes left and you're down 2 rounds, you got to take chances, right? Your back's already exposed. You gotta get a little bit desperate here and give yourself a chance to finish this fight. Looks like he might be able to work the elbow back inside now, but Jan's doing a good job of just beating him up with knees and staying behind the elbows with that body lock. There's an opening right now for McGee to slide his right elbow through that space and start to face Petr Yan. Ah, beautiful. Jan landed the takedown. McGee popped right back up, though. Jan kind of scissored his legs and drug McGee to the mat, but McGee popped right back up. Jan's just harassing him here, right? He's burning the clock out. He's landing good knees. And again, we were talking about like this is the highest level of fight IQ we've seen so far tonight. This is just good fight IQ from Petr Yan. It might not be exactly what the fans want to see, but you're behind your opponent. There's not much he can do. He's proven to you over the last 90 seconds or so that he can't escape this position. Just stay there and keep beating him up with knees over and over again. Get out of here with a victory and move on to the next fight. You don't want to give this man a chance to throw hands because you know he has power. And crazy shit happens when you're fighting. So this is a good game plan from Jan, even though right now it's there. McGee's got his elbow inside. He's got to keep turning into him. He can't set. It's out now. He's got to, when that elbow gets inside the arm of Petr Yan, it has to stay there. Now he's turning facing him. He's controlling the wrist of Jan. But Jan's just pinning him up against the cage there, man. It's going to be hard for McGee to get his back off the cage like this. There he goes. There he goes. He's got his hands connected. A takedown's not what you need at this point in the fight, though. He drops his level down. He's got to disengage, and you got Jan up against the cage. You got to start letting strikes go. Like right now, boom, 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 boom. Combos, combos, combos. Throw yourself in the fire. Jan lands a nice head kick, though, just as I say that. That's the danger about putting – oh, there it is. There's the trip. And now Jan's on an armbar. Maybe they were right about the submission. He's on a Kimura lock. But McGee rolls out of it. Jan's behind him again, wrestling, staying behind the elbows. He'll probably close the round out here with a couple more knees. There it is. Yeah, third round was the most dominant round of the fight for sure. That's Petr Yan's fight, likely 3-0. But man, the thing about McGee, too, is he got into the UFC a little bit late in life, right? Like, not too late. Like, I think he's 34, 35 right now. But I really think that you can benefit a lot from seeing high-level competition when you're a little bit younger. Like, if he had run into some of these guys when he was 28 or 29, you might have really seen him excel. Because you see his potential now. I think let me look it up. I think he's 35 years old. So if he could have, like I said, just fucking run into these guys a little bit earlier. Yeah, he's 35 right now, man. Just turned 35. So, you know, if he runs into guys like Petr Yan 5 years ago, he might not have won those fights at the time, but it might have been beneficial for him to, like, now that he's realized what Petr Yan, like what that feels like, what that level feels like, he knows what it takes to get over the hump. But now he's fighting father time along with it, you know? Like he's fighting a battle on two fronts. He's trying to improve his skills, and he's trying to do it all while the fucking game takes a toll on you as you age. It's a tough position to be in for him. So, but But yeah, I think that'll be 30-27 for Petr Yan. I think he won every single round. I probably should mix in a water here. I want to hear what the scores are for this. They already read them. Yeah, good win for Petr now. That's 2 in a row. Puts him back on track to kind of start making his way into title contention again. So I wonder who will be next for him. You know, Sandhagen's getting the title shot at 135 now against Merab. Let me look up the bantamweight rankings. Who's here? Pound for pound. No, I want bantamweight. Also, I've noticed on the UFC site they've started doing fan rankings now. So how does that work? I don't know if that's better than the media rankings they were doing before, but I know the rankings always got a lot of criticism. Petr Yan's ranked number 3 right now on the fan rankings, at least. You know, you got Yan versus Umar. Might be a good fight. Have they announced a fight for O'Malley yet? Petr Yan versus Song. They've already fought. He's already beat Davison. I don't think Cheeto makes sense. Mario Batista doesn't make sense. It might be Petr Yan versus Umar. And then Song versus O'Malley? I really don't know. Bantamweight is stacked right now. So many good fighters. And then you got, like, if you start going down even into the top 15, you got Vinicius Oliveira to be excited about. He's got a really interesting style for 135. The way he just kind of fucking marches forward with his hands down and just throws bombs. You don't see that at 135 very often. That's a new fold that's been introduced there. So that's pretty cool. Jan's got his sons in the octagon. The one's like 12. He looks like he's as big as Petr Yan is already. I don't know. Yeah, I think Yan versus Umar might make a lot of sense. But do they have O'Malley booked? I don't know. I have to look it up. I feel like no. Yeah, it doesn't have anything announced. I don't know. I feel like it should be O'Malley versus Song Yadong and then Umar versus Petr Yan. Unless Umar has a fight booked. All right, almost main event time here. We're going to have Robert Whittaker versus Renier De Ridder. This one, to me, is a very interesting fight. You know, I'm leaning towards De Ridder in this fight, to be honest with you guys. And I love Robert Whittaker. I'm a big Robert Whittaker fan. I think he'll have an advantage in terms of getting to angles on the feet. Maybe a little bit of an advantage in terms of power. But I worry that De Ridder is so big for 185, right? Like he fought at middleweight and won, and I believe their middleweight division is 205 pounds. And his only 2 losses in his professional career I always forget the motherfucker's name. But anyway, he was a 3 division champion over and won, right? He won the heavyweight, 185 and 205, right? So I don't know. I feel like he's a guy who packs a lot of power in his punches as well. He's just built like a brick shit house. He has a way different fighting style than Robert Whittaker. I kind of worry that for Whittaker in this fight coming up here against De Ridder, that De Ridder is just going to be able to walk him down. I worry that De Ridder is going to be able to withstand some of the shots that Whittaker throws at him. And just size matters sometimes, man. And De Ridder is very talented. He's very skilled. and he's a very, very, very good grappler. I don't think he's going to come out with the same sort of explosiveness that Chimaev demonstrated against Whittaker. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to do that to him exactly. But I do think that he's just going to kind of slowly march him down over and over and over, and he'll just be there, right? And then as we get into like the third and fourth rounds, I worry that it's just very hard to play that game where you're trying to not get pinned up against the cage, not get taken down. I feel that it's very hard to do that for 5 full rounds if you're Robert Whittaker, right? And for De Ridder, I feel like his game plan and the way he fights, his style it favors him a little bit in this fight. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's Robert Whittaker. I've doubted him in the past, and he's come up big and picked up the victory, so you never know. But I think De Ridder might be more of a problem than a lot of people are kind of giving him credit for. But, he's never fought somebody like Robert Whittaker, a former UFC champion, before. He's never fought somebody that talented. And his win over Bo Nickel really kind of put him on the map. But Nickel's so inexperienced in terms of MMA, right? And you saw Nickel take him down in that fight. But the experience level, man, it's just not quite there. But yeah, he's a massive dude. Man, we have to we're going to France here in a month and a half, end of August, for my sister-in-law's wedding. She's getting married, and there's a bachelor party trip planned, but like there's no communication, or not planned. It's not planned. It's talked about. It's a loose fucking idea. There's like no that's what I was looking at on my phone. There's like no communication between anyone. So I don't know where we're going, what's going on, where we're staying. Going to be very interesting, to say the least. Yeah, man, De Ridder's good. This will be a big fight for him too. If he wins, you're going to be talking about him in title contention. And he's a different style than anyone that Whittaker's had to face so far in his UFC career, I feel like. He kind of brings that unknown factor about him too, right? Like, he doesn't have a wealth of UFC experience. He has a lot of fights over and won. He's got 22 professional fights. Walking out now. Only active Dutch UFC fighter. Very interesting. You can't sleep on Whittaker, though, man. I feel like I've done that a couple times in the past, and this will be a good fight, though. My heart's just leaning towards De Ridder for some reason. I don't really have a preference in terms of who wins. I don't mean it like that. But I just feel like, I don't know, momentum's kind of riding De Ridder's way. And I feel like if he can just weather some of the shots of Whittaker, he can march him down. He looks to be in good shape coming into this fight too. He's a professional, man. Like, you know that much, right? I said this about Zellhuber in the last card, but him versus Michael Johnson, man, it's so hard to tell because I'm not in the camp, all this different stuff. But I feel like with Michael Johnson, you're thinking you're fighting this nearly 40-year-old man. You're 24. You're just going to breeze through him. I felt like Zellhuber could have been in better shape. He just looks soft through the midsection. And I know he's not necessarily ripped all the time, but he didn't look how I would want my fighter to look going into that fight. De Ridder just entered the octagon here. I think it's hilarious too that Robert Whittaker just refuses to accept the nickname of Bobby Knuckles. Yeah, man. In terms of, I don't know, getting angles, like I said, getting off like the footwork and everything like that, I think it will favor Whittaker, but I think De Ridder will just keep moving forward. That's all I always think about this too. That's got to be one of the most like nerve-wracking walks ever, right? I wonder if you get used to it at some point or if it always just feels like fucking anxiety ridden the whole time. We had a chance when we were in New York. We went a few years ago. I believe it was for the GSP versus Bisbing card. I was with a couple of my buddies. And I remember we had a chance to meet Robert Whittaker or Paige Van Zant. And it was like a meet and greet type of thing, which isn't the way I like to meet fighters really, because they're just kind of signing stuff and you're on your way. But I like really wanted to go meet Robert Whittaker because I felt like he could be really good. And he hadn't won the title at the time. And we went to meet Paige Van Sant instead. And then she ends up selling fucking pictures on OnlyFans all the time. Whatever. My friends like really wanted to meet her, so we went to meet her. I should have just branched off and done my own thing, huh? But it is what it is now. Whittaker's got to be a Hall of Famer already, huh? I would think so. Piled up wins in the middleweight division. Is he a multiple time champion? Did he lose it, never win it back? Or did he lose it and never get it back? Let me fucking see. No, I think he lost it and never got it back again. Yeah, he lost it to Izzy. Defended it a few times. Right? Wait. I think so. No. He won the inner. Here we go. Won the interim title against Yoel Romero. Then Romero missed weight in the rematch, so it was a non-title bout. And then he lost the middleweight championship to Izzy, rattled off 3 in a row, and then fought for the championship again against Izzy and lost. So really, I guess he never won. He was the undisputed champion, but I don't think he ever won the undisputed championship. Like, he never took the belt from an undisputed champ. That's interesting. Especially if you consider like Dustin Poirier's career now and his retirement last week, right? All right, Martinez is doing the intros here. We're about to get things kicked off. Mark Goddard's going to be doing the reffing. I know I keep bringing it up, but the size difference, I think it could be a problem for Whittaker in this fight. De Ridder is just a big dude, man. Like, he was significantly bigger than Bo Nickel. Slight underdog. I wonder what the live odds are now, because I feel like they've been moving slowly in favor of De Ridder in terms of, like, he opened up as a bigger underdog than he was. And sometimes that means like sharp money is coming in on him, right? Yeah, he's only plus 122 now. I think he opened at like plus 150 or something, plus 180. I could be wrong. Damn, Whittaker's 10-2 as a favorite, though. That's what I mean. You can't doubt him. Whittaker's the man. All right, let's go. Let's get this thing rolling. De Ridder looks like he's in a different fucking weight class than Whittaker. They just met at the center of the cage. I don't know. I don't know, boys and girls. We'll see how this shakes out. We're about to kick things off here. First round's about to start. Goddard walking toward the center, asking if they're ready, and here we go. No touch of gloves to start things off. I'm at 455, 54 if you're streaming, trying to sync things up. Fast pace to start. De Ridder in on a single leg early. He's got a hold of it. Whittaker just winging some punches at him to try to keep the single leg off. Now, De Ridder almost working sort of like an arm drag position here, but Whittaker's keeping that arm on the far side of the body, so not really an arm drag. But De Ridder definitely has the setup. If he can pass that wrist across to his right hip, he'd be able to arm drag here. He's kind of pressuring into Whittaker, throwing some knees here. See, these are the situations that I would think De Ridder would want to be in, where he's just weighing on Whittaker, using that size advantage, walking him down, and making him feel that weight. Just make him carry it. Whittaker with good head position and everything here, being patient. Driving his right hand up into that armpit of De Ridder. I think he'll kind of end up negating this arm drag here. Nice knee. De Ridder does a really good job of landing those knees. Back to the center of the cage. Whittaker looking fast, I will say that. Backing De Ridder up here, giving him a lot of different looks. Oh, nice left right lands for him. De Ridder goes for the shot again, but stuffed by Whittaker. Can't do that, right? You can't shoot naked. Nice little jab lands from Whittaker, and De Ridder did not look like he liked that at all. Kind of shied away from the jab when he landed it. Throws a kick there, De Ridder does. Back to the center of the octagon. Whittaker fighting nice and low here. You got to think he's keeping his center of gravity low to try to defend some of those takedowns coming his way. And De Ridder does fight very up and down, right? Like very upright. They look like they're in a different weight class, man. It's crazy. Nice little right hand there from De Ridder. Whittaker lands the left hand. De Ridder kind of shies away from these shots when Whittaker throws them, though. There's a right hand that got through for Whittaker again. Whittaker's backing him up with every single shot that he throws. Like everything Whittaker throws is backing De Ridder up, backing him up. Nice left hand just landed there for Whittaker. Whittaker's much cleaner on the feet. There's another takedown attempt from De Ridder. But for De Ridder, I'm not in his fucking camp, but I would prefer a game plan where we're just throwing very simple combinations. We're not overextending on things. We're trying to walk forward. We're trying to put this fight up against the cage. There's a nice knee from De Ridder. Now they're in the clinch. He's walking Whittaker back against the cage. This is what you want if you're De Ridder, right here. This is where I want the fight to be, like, as often as possible. Whittaker gets to double underhooks here, though, and clears back to the center of the cage. Very, very well done by Whittaker. That jab lands over top of the shoulder of De Ridder. De Ridder throws a head kick, but it's blocked by Whittaker. Left hand lands for Whittaker. Whittaker steps into everything, but he gets there with his footwork, right? He doesn't really overextend. He lets his feet carry him there as he throws the punches. Like, see how he explodes into things, but his footwork travels, lets him travel to his opponent. He's not like reaching with his hands to get there. Oh, nice left hook landed for Whittaker. This is Whittaker's round, no doubt about it. Oh, those knees from De Ridder are nasty. He just landed a nice one to the midsection of Whittaker. I think Whittaker felt it a little bit. And that's the thing too, right? It's like the impact of the shots. Like when you're fighting a big guy like De Ridder, Whittaker has to be perfect all the time. And De Ridder, I think the impact of his shots will let him fight a little bit of a messier fight. It doesn't all have to be perfectly clean. If he can just land a few big blows. He's fading back every time, though, Whittaker throws combinations. And I still think Whittaker took this round. Those knees are something to watch out for, though. First round just ended. They're going back to their corner. Off to a commercial break. Oh, Burger King. This is where they get you with the fucking ads. Get some chicken fries, get a little Whopper. Also, I love Burger King's fries for some reason. Oh, see, my stream's cutting out. And I'm on the ESPN app. Crazy. It's back. We're good. We're good. Got Whittaker up 10-9 so far. 1 round to nothing. Just landing the cleaner strikes. Really finding a lot of success going over top of the shoulders of De Ridder, right? Second round just started. 456, 55, 4, 53. Oh, left hand kind of stumbled Whittaker there. I don't think it hurt him, but it's just the impact of the shot, the weight behind it. De Ridder looks Looks for a little step in knee and a left hand that both miss. Head kick by Whittaker is well defended by De Ridder. De Ridder going for that single leg again, well defended. Whittaker stuffed it with no problem. He's telegraphing things. He really likes to step in with that knee. Like he takes a big step with his right leg and then brings that knee behind it. Whittaker just landed a nice right hand in a little exchange they had there. About a minute into the second round. Whittaker walking him down. If you're I know it's easier said than done, but if you're De Ridder, you don't want to be on the back foot. But he's having trouble with the striking of Whittaker so far. And Whittaker's doing a really good job with range management. There's a big right-left from De Ridder. Good head movement from Whittaker getting out of the way of that strike there. Nice, left-right with that one? They're getting after it now a little bit. Back to the center. Whittaker definitely has the better footwork. He's definitely controlling the octagon a bit better than De Ridder. There's that step in knee again, but Whittaker lands over the top with the right hand. Couple nice jabs got through there for De Ridder. He kind of wings some of his shots a little bit. He's marching Whittaker down now, though. Oh, there's that knee again. Those knees are going to have some serious impact, though. You don't want to eat too many of those. He's beating the body of Whittaker up. And also, when they're starting to engage now, you can see that when De Ridder just kind of pushes him off, he's stronger than Whittaker. And Whittaker's face is bloodied up a little bit now. There's a knee again. Now, oh, he's on the back of Whittaker. He's on top. This is not where Whittaker wants to be. De Ridder's already wrapped around the head. He's in kind of a knee shield half guard here. Whittaker cleared that like sort of headlock. He's got his knee shield in place. De Ridder's framing with that right arm, lands a nice elbow there. Whittaker doing a good job with hip movement. He's kind of in butter half right now. He's got one foot on the hip. There he inserts a butterfly hook. But De Ridder's, again, how many times am I going to say this? De Ridder's so much bigger than Whittaker. And it feels like this is starting to wear on Whittaker a little bit now already, right? Minute, 20 seconds left in the second round. De Ridder getting off some ground and pound here. He's on top of kind of like a butterfly guard that Whittaker has. Moving off to the side, he's got his base spread out nice and wide, looking to pass. If he can clear that knee, we'll be in butter half. Yep. Now we're in a half guard with Whittaker has that left butterfly hook. Does a good job of making space, but De Ridder just smothering him, man. He's all over him here. Whittaker goes feet to the hips. Now they fall back into a closed guard. This is De Ridder's world. This is where De Ridder wants to be. De Ridder posturing up now. He's up to his feet. Looking to pass. Whittaker doing a good job of getting his legs in play and retaining his guard. But he's got to find a way back to his feet. But with 20 seconds left, how much energy do you want to expend? Maybe just keep yourself safe. Keep him from advancing too much. Conserve some energy and get out in the third round and get things back to the feet where you were having a bit of an advantage. But De Ridder coming on strong here, man. Posturing into Whittaker. Trying to land some short little elbows through the guard. De Ridder takes the second round, no doubt. And Whittaker looks a little tired, even the way he's standing up. Those knees, man, that's the thing. That's what I was saying like earlier, right? Like Whittaker has to be perfect. He has to be nearly perfect because De Ridder can afford to just be a little bit sloppier. He's got more weight behind his shots, As the fight wears on, he can bully him around a little bit. As the energy of Whittaker starts to go down, there's like this trade-off, right? And I just feel like right now, things are turning in De Ridder's favor a little bit, heading into this third round. Little cut on the bridge of the nose of Whittaker. I don't know. I'm not liking it for Whittaker right now. It's those knees, man. Even when they land on the arms. Almost had the back of Whittaker there. Third round's about to kick off here now. $54, $453, $52, $51, $50. And De Ridder's got to have some confidence now, right? He just had a great round. And I like here, this just steady with the strikes. Marching Whittaker down. He's throwing those knees over and over again. He's got Whittaker on the ropes, man. He's got him hurt. He's throwing that knee over and over. His strikes are still. Oh! Whittaker with the big right hand. De Ridder's hurt. He's down. Whittaker's throwing elbows on top. De Ridder's hurt bad. He's trying to throw up like the clamp. He's got his feet on the hips. Wow, what a turn of the tides from Whittaker. Not looking great for him, and he lands a beautiful right hand. De Ridder's got his guard going, though, but Whittaker's still getting shots through. Damn, Whittaker's finding home for these strikes. He's landing over and over again from top position. De Ridder spins through. He's going to stand back up here. Wow, good fight. De Ridder walking him down. Whittaker he's not down in that stance so much anymore, though, right? He's not like hunkered down low. He's standing a little bit more up right now. This is a grueling pace for these guys at 185 pounds. Damn. That was crazy. De Ridder was hurt. De Ridder's not all there. He's not all there. He's walking Whittaker down right now, but I don't think he's all back. Throws the knee again. De Ridder is a little sloppy on the feet. He does some things that leave him exposed, right? Shooting that single leg. I was actually going to say earlier, I like that he was shooting this. He was almost like feigning the single leg to open his shots up. But because of his slow lumbering pace, he can't keep up with the angles of Whittaker. So you kind of have this back and forth here between this guy who's bigger and stronger and this guy who has to work a little bit harder to get to his angles. But when he gets there, he's much faster and he lands the cleaner strikes. Nice left hand. Got through from Whittaker. What a fight. Oh, right hand stung De Ridder. That goes to show you how good Whittaker is too, though. Because I've been harping on the size discrepancy, and right now, Whittaker just landed the most significant blow of the fight and dropped him clean. That's what technique will do. Comes over the top with the left hand nicely. Oh, very good timing on the takedown from De Ridder. He runs a double leg. He gets to the crossface here in the top of half guard. He's already, right? Whittaker's going to have a hard time getting the knee shield in place from here. I think De Ridder's going to start looking to switch his hips. What's he trying to do here? He's got the crossface in. He's trying to clear this half guard, but I'd like to see him pinch his knees tight together and switch his base. Right? Like shift his left hip down towards the mat with his knees facing Whittaker's legs. He might have an instep here, though. He might be able to pass through with this instep. Like I should be telling fucking Renier De Ridder how to fucking grapple. But he's got an underhook and a crossface. He's trying to tripod. He needs to clear this. Oh, that was a beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. He's into side control. Whittaker needs to keep that right forearm framed and try to hip away, which he's doing. Back into half guard now for Whittaker. But again, this is kind of De Ridder's world. This is where he wants to be, right? He's got that instep again. Oh, man, that was nice. I love that little – I'm going to break that. We'll have to do a breakdown on that. I love that little pass that he's hitting. He keeps getting back. He keeps getting sucked back into half guard, and it almost looks like he's threatening with that instep to go to mount, and he uses it instead to kind of switch his hips and drive his knee through and get to side control. But every time he gets there, he's letting Whittaker re-guard. but it's still a beautiful pass. We'll do a breakdown on that shit, add it to the arsenal. I like it. But right now, he's just swarming him, right? He's just on top of him here. It's hard. It's a lot of work for Whittaker from this bottom position. Good head positioning here from De Ridder. He's got that far side underhook. He's got to get to side control and isolate that near side arm of Whittaker, though he had it early on. 8 seconds left in the round. This round's probably going to end up going to, I don't know, who does it go to? Because De Ridder ended so strong. De Ridder has to find a way to get on top if he wants to win. When he gets there, Whittaker, he just can't return to his feet, right? Like I said, that's De Ridder's world. He's the bigger guy. He's more technical on the ground, I think. He's just good at keeping Whittaker pinned down. But this, so I don't know how you score that round. Because Whittaker dropped him, right? Is that more significant than all the control that De Ridder demonstrated? Because when he got to the double leg, it was like 2.5 minutes of top control. But that was the cleanest strike of the fight so far. But it wasn't like De Ridder was doing nothing. I mean, I don't know. I think you still give it to Whittaker. He almost ended the fight, right? And it was a great comeback by De Ridder, but it was just that. It was a comeback. I still feel like damage is the most important thing. I might give that round to Whittaker. We might be looking at 2 rounds to 1 heading into the 4th round here. 453, 52, 51, 50. If you guys are following along, another big knee. He's actually using that knee to step into the body lock, which is very interesting. You don't see that very often. But that knee's he landed a lot of knees in that Bo Nickel fight too. This is a close fight, guys. De Ridder looking for the takedown here, pushing Whittaker up against the cage. Whittaker doing a really good job with the takedown defense so far. And yeah, they just showed the body strikes on there, 30-0 in favor of De Ridder. How do you score that 3rd round? What do you guys think? If anyone's watching, paying attention. I think you give it to Whittaker. I think Whittaker's up 2 rounds to 1. It does suck when you have a round like that and then you end it on your back, because the end of the rounds do seem to carry some sort of importance. Like, it's your lasting impression, right, with the judges. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's how it goes. Yeah, I agree, Erwin. Damage over control, man. I agree. I think it's Whittaker's round. Man, Whittaker looks a little tired. De Ridder goes for a double leg, ends up on the body lock. He's stepping in between the legs of Whittaker here. Nice knee. He's so long. Just wearing on Whittaker. This is kind of what I thought De Ridder would do from the start of the fight. Obviously, it's easier said than done when Whittaker's fresh. There's a nice little fucking Conor McGregor style elbow. It's easier said than done when the guy's fresh, right? It's hard to implement that sort of style on him. But you can. Whittaker's tired here, man. He's taking some big breaths. Wow, De Ridder just went for a takedown, made a big mistake. And Whittaker defended it, ended up on top, and did the right thing, I think, in letting him back to his feet. But do you guys see how Whittaker, his stance is more vertical now? He's much more straight up and down. He's not hunkered down in that stance anymore. That's because you got to maintain like a semi-squat when you're doing that shit. It's tiring. And De Ridder's just backing him up. I think De Ridder doesn't have to do anything fancy. Like, see how he lunges with his jab? It's not the way that Whittaker, see right there, like Whittaker lets his footwork carry him to the jab and carry him to those strikes where he steps in. De Ridder lets his hands get too far out in front of his feet. Like, his feet aren't carrying him there. He's reaching with his hands to get to the strikes. All he has to do is fight behind his feet, meaning like 1, 2, 1, 2. It doesn't have to be complicated. I feel like if he just walked Whittaker down and changed his game plan up a little bit, he'd be finding even more success in this fight. But he's leaving a lot of opportunities open for Whittaker. I don't know who's winning this round now. Tries a head kick. No bueno. Like, just march him down. You don't have to extend out and reach for him with your jab. Just stay right here and walk. You don't even have to land your jabs. Just walk and throw them constantly. They're going to get through eventually. And as the space between Whittaker's back and the cage shrinks and minimizes, you don't have to go for those desperate shots. They'll start to land. Right? I feel like this is a fight that De Ridder could win easily, but Whittaker is just, the game planning is a little better. And I think Whittaker's landing the better strikes. He ended on top in that exchange. See how De Ridder throws these big strikes, man? Like I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's just a style, I suppose. But that right there, that shit that he's lunging into, he doesn't need to do that. 1-2, pitter patter, pitter patter. That knee is beautiful, though. He does have a really good step in knee. And you know that work to the body's got to be hurting Whittaker. Oh, there he throws the big lunging left hand. He lands it, though. What the fuck do I know? Nothing. He does it again and whiffs, though. I just feel like overall the game plan would be better if he just jabbed. He could just throw a 1-2 the entire time and march Whittaker down and have so much more success than he's having right now. It doesn't have to be fancy and it doesn't have to knock him out. You're not landing with this shit. So if you're not going to land, throw less power behind it. I don't know. 10 seconds left in the round. Man, I think that's Whittaker's round. I don't know though. I'm not judging it. I'm not paying close enough attention. But I think Whittaker might be up 3-1 going into the 5th. I could see the type of fight this is, though, going to like a split decision. So I don't think either guys are necessarily safe after that round. It's a very hard fight to score, in my opinion. At least when you're doing fucking commentary on it. But I think Whittaker's up 3-1. De Ridder might need a finish here. I disagree with his approach to this fight. I feel like he could fight a style that served him so much better. All right, 5th and final round here. Both these guys have fought 5-round fights in their career. It could come down to this round. I don't know how the judges have it. It's a close fight. I think that De Ridder needs a finish, but I could also see, you know how the fuck this shit goes. Here we go. 5th round starting up, 4:56, 55, 54. Whittaker advancing right away. Whittaker's got a really good lead hand, man. I really like how he works his lead hand. There it is again. Doubles up on it. Brings it from different angles, switches up the timing. He does lunge in with it, but again, his footwork carries him there. He's very precise. And then he gets off the angles. He gets out of the way. You know, we haven't really seen him and TJ Dillashaw kind of throw their right power kick, their right head kick the same way, where they hide it behind the punches. We haven't really seen Whittaker try that a whole lot in this fight, maybe for fear of getting taken down. See, this is where De Ridder should be 90% of the fight if he can get there. And it seems like he can get there. But he starts winging these big-ass shots and losing the position. Right? I don't know what to make of this fight. Live odds have it very even. Good head positioning from De Ridder, and he runs him back against the cage, sagging his body down back to his feet, though. Whittaker doing a good job of pummeling underhooks in. De Ridder beating up the body. Nice short little dirty uppercut there. This is the type of fight De Ridder should have fought the whole fight. And then when you get to here, jab, 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 front kick, jab, jab, jab. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Throw that knee if you like. It lands all the fucking time. Whittaker's got some good takedown defense. He keeps pummeling those underhooks in there nicely. But overall, he's not having a lot of success getting the fight to the ground. I mean, he's had his moments, but like right here, jab. Jab, jab, left hand, jab, left hand. There's a single leg attempt. Oh, he's got a trip opportunity. He's going to get it. No, Whittaker back to his feet. Defended very nicely. And just desperation, treating the mat like fucking lava, right? He didn't let himself get grounded there, even though De Ridder had a good opportunity to get the takedown. He sprung right back up to his feet. But now Whittaker's getting pinned up against the cage here again. And again, if you're Whittaker and you're up 3 rounds, you might be good just surviving. But if not, you have to try to win this round as well. I don't know who's ahead. Very close fight. Very fucking close fight. There's that lead hand to Whittaker again doing damage. See, if you're here for De Ridder, nothing fancy. There it is. There's the jab. You don't got to overextend. He also kind of, the way he goes in for his takedowns is a little bit sloppy, right? Like, I don't know. He lets Whittaker get to those underhooks. It's just his approach is a little bit, he has a lot of openings. Let's put it that way. Excuse me. Whittaker's got double unders here. De Ridder just kind of throwing some small little baby shots in. Whittaker circles off the cage, gets out of that nicely. Minute 40 left. Someone's got to kind of make a statement. Nice little shot to the body there from Whittaker. We haven't seen that at all this fight from him. It's like his first time going to the body. He does it again. De Ridder backing up. De Ridder's just got a lumber. There he throws the knee again, though. De Ridder's got a lumber forward and just throws simple strikes. I'll say the same shit all day. The game plan doesn't have to be complicated. Oh, nice left hand landed there. See, he has landed that overhand left a couple times, though. But see, he throws shit like that, and it's just wild. Doesn't make sense to me. As he enters, do you guys see what I mean about like sloppy like entries? Like he keeps giving Whittaker the double underhooks. And he's landing these little shots to the rib zone, pinning Whittaker up against the cage. It's not like Whittaker's doing much with the double underhooks, but it does present him opportunities to kind of circle off and disengage. See, right there. He can circle off and back to the center. Oh, Whittaker landed a nice right hand after stuffing the single leg attempt. He's kind of faking that single leg, which I don't mind, but he's such a long guy that it takes him so long when he fakes to get back up. Whittaker's putting it on him here. "13 seconds left in the fight. Whittaker drives him back up against the cage again. Or sorry, De Ridder drives Whittaker against the cage. They're going to end up clinching against the cage here. And that's the fight. Man, I don't know what to make of it. Grueling fight for both guys. If I had to pick, I think Whittaker. I could see it 3 rounds to 2. I think De Ridder maybe won the 5th. Just more control time and not a lot of damage done on either end. The cleaner strikes were landed by Whittaker. You can't negate those knees to the body that De Ridder landed, though. The amount of time that he was controlling Whittaker. I think Whittaker gets the nod, but I really don't know. We'll see. I think 3-2 for Bobby Knuckles, the Reaper. Oh, that knee is vicious. He lands it repeatedly, too. See, that's the problem with MMA, too. No, the third, actually, I can't even say that. I was going to say, like, you get a knockdown like that, and there's no way to, I don't know. There's no way to differentiate between like a 10, like that was a 10-9 round, but Whittaker landed the only knockdown really of the fight, the cleanest shot of the fight, right? So it's like De Ridder did fight back, so a 10-9 is more acceptable in that instance, but you get some fights where you get a 10-9, it's a very close round, another 10-9, it's a very close round, and then another 10-9, but it's not enough to warrant a 10-8. Like there's no in between. I don't know. You guys kind of follow what I'm saying, I hope. All right, they're about to announce the winner here. I think Whittaker's going to get it. Let me turn it up. I'm guessing split decision or unanimous, 3-2. We're going to get a split decision. 48-47 Whittaker. 48-47 De Ridder. Here we go. Very close fight. Wow, they gave it to De Ridder. You know what? There are fights that you can call a robbery. This isn't one of them, right? I don't think so. I think all of the other rounds it's too close. It's a very close fight. I think either of those guys could have won. It was a grueling fight for both guys. I thought Whittaker won, don't get me wrong, but I'm not always right? And that's a lot of people like hate the subjectiveness in MMA, but I kind of like it, to be honest, because different people value different things. I think some of the judges are fucking retarded, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure that they're the ones that I want making the decisions, but I don't want the subjectiveness to go away in terms of what people value in MMA. And I know there's the criteria, blah, 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 laid out and everything online, or the standard rules or whatever, in terms of how you're supposed to judge it. But sometimes a fight's just a fight, and you got to view the fight how you view the fight. I thought Whittaker won. Probably. He definitely won round 1, in my opinion. Round 3, I gave to him for damage. And then, I don't know. I'd have to go rewatch it. It is hard to announce it and like pick the winner, but damn, they didn't give him a very long Octagon interview, did they? They're like rushing things along, going over to Whittaker to talk to him. I don't know. Kind of disappointing. I'm a Whittaker fan. I didn't quite know that De Ridder did the things that he needed to do to get the victory, but what can you do? Got a feel for Whittaker, but this is a huge fight for De Ridder now, because it is going to put him into some of those fights, especially, you got Duplessis obviously fighting Hamzat Chimaev, a grappling heavy guy. And De Ridder does have a very strong grappling background, but after that performance, man, do I see him beating Duplessis or Chimaev? Not really. It was a big win. It was a good win. But I think those guys are on different levels than Whittaker right now even, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's been like, 3 hours? Almost 2 hours, 50 minutes. I've been talking way too long. Thank you for those of you who did tune in, gave it a thumbs up and all that shit. I appreciate I can't fucking talk. See, I'm talked out. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, maybe we'll do some. I really want to do a breakdown on that pass that he hit, but I don't know if there's enough there to like put a YouTube video out on it, but I'd like to study that at least. That pass that he was hitting on Whittaker from half guard was very smooth where he got the instep in. But anyway, that's going to wrap this. I really can't talk. That's going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. Bye-bye.